jazz hands. No one has to do jazz hands tonight. We're going to preempt. Jazz hands is this. This is like what we do to get psyched up. We could do it. Okay, let's all do it. Jazz hands, jazz hands. There you go. Mark, see, that's why I didn't want to. I knew Mark was going to try to be a tough guy. Okay, we are live. We are live. Welcome to the Big Daddy Gun Studios live. This is the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. This is episode 91, and it's going to be epic. It's going to be epic tonight because we have Jim Fuller of Rifle Dynamics, this handsome young devil right here, versus the heavyweight champion of the world, Marc Krebs, right here.
Well, thank you.
We were just saying off air, I was going to build this as, Fuller versus Krebs, but you guys are friends, right? So
we have been well.
Yeah.
Well, didn't we go to college together, Mark, and then we were in the Air Force together and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Oh,
somebody put that in an article.
We grew up as kids together.
Oh, really? Is that the rumor? Let me see.
Somebody mistakenly put that in an article once.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah. Actually, it was me and Marc Krebs went to Lassen, studied gunsmithing at Lassen College together, and we were both in the Air Force. And it's like, I don't know how much more wrong that could be.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, was either one of you guys in the armed services?
I was not. No.
Oh, what about you, Mark? Oh, okay. There you go. Just making the guns. How long have you guys been making guns?
Is that for me or Mark?
Well, okay. Let's start with Mark.
Well, I've been making AKs for maybe about the last 15, 20 years, I think. 15, 20. Okay. But you've been doing a lot. You've done a lot of gun stuff though before you got into AKs. Yeah, right? we were in business in '85.
You used to do 1911s, didn't you, Mark?
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah, that was woo. That's tough.
I wouldn't do it.
So, are you saying that it's easier to do the AKs than the 1911s?
They're their own animal. Let's put it that way.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, there's also a thing about competition shooting.
Okay.
Any competition shooting is tough.
Okay, because you're like tuning it down to that particular shooter.
Man. I mean, I've talked to people with bullets whizzing by them, and they're not as concerned about time dates as somebody in competition.
Yes, I believe that. So Jim, how long have you been building guns, man? I mean, I don't know when you gave up the rock and roll career, but
no, that was a long time ago. But we got our license in '07, so we've been a licensed manufacturer for 10 years. But I did this for about 5 years before that. Working on another license, just working on guns and building stuff out of his shop. So about 15 years, seriously on the AK. I've been running the gun since the '80s, but working on it. It's only been about the last 15 years for people.
Okay, cool.
Long enough to know what he's doing.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got the two powerhouses right here of the custom AK world, and we got a bunch of other people here that are hanging out with us. First of all, we got Walter Keller right there. Walter's sitting hanging out with you guys. Do you both remember Walter Keller from Safety Harbor Firearms?
Yes, sir.
You can lie. You can slide. You don't have to say.
I recognize your name. I didn't recognize until I saw your face. I didn't remember you, but now I do.
It's the dimples, is what it is. It's the dimples.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So, Walter is a big fan of you guys and also an AK guy.
Yeah.
So there you go. And he's always here hanging out with me, helping me to do this. So we've got him here. And we've got a bunch of people. I saw JMac Customs is in the hangout. We've got El Tenda in the hangouts. Shout out to JMac Customs as well as El Tenda. We've got lots of folks hanging out with us tonight. Probably if I went down the roll call like we usually do, it would go on for a long, long time. So what I'm going to do is Lola's here. She's going to take questions, and we're going to go through and try to hit up everyone with questions. We're going to be doing this for about 2 hours until 9, and so let's see. We're going to probably go through this. Walter, did you have any questions you wanted to start off with?
No,
Yeah,
I'm just going to listen for a while. I think I could
Yeah.
start it off with like aside from AKs, what are you guys' other favorite guns?
Oh, that's a
but
good question.
I got asked that last night. What's your favorite gun? And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a hard question to ask.
Yeah, let's ask Jim that. Okay, Jim, so other than an AK, what is your favorite gun?
Probably an FAL.
FAL? Okay.
That's a good one. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm a big
nice.
fan of those.
that's a good
Yeah.
one.
I'm sure you probably have a few of those, right?
I do. I still have like 3. I've built several over the years, but I've kept 3 of them, my 3 favorite ones. A little shorty, and then I've got a 55 Israeli FAL and a early 60s G1 FAL.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Eat them that much, but I love them.
Yeah, very nice. Very cool. Okay, Mark, so what's your favorite gun other than an AK?
Well, kind of all of them in a way, but I like FNs. Man, I like them all. I'm sorry to say that I know people think I am an opinionated prick on, but I appreciate them all. Stoner on up. They all have cool stuff that they taught us.
Well, have you ever met a horrible gun? Just a horrible gun? Like, what's the worst gun you've ever met?
Well,
I've met a few.
Yeah.
Sterlings. There's all kinds of different. There's 100 different crappy guns out there. Or more.
Okay. Okay, not a fan of the Sterlings. Okay. You probably just broke Walter's heart a little bit.
The Sterling submachine gun you're speaking of?
No.
Oh, no, I didn't think so.
I'm talking about pocket pistols.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which is actually a very well-designed gun. It's just not. You got to make it out of something other than bubble gum to, make it last. So
besides die-cast or zinc. Yeah.
Okay. You make those all in Southern California. Bryco, Lorson, Sterling. They were all down in Southern California. And I don't know what they used for metal in those things, but man, it was
sand.
Not real.
Zinc.
Sand. Okay, so
that kind of goes back to the Saturday Night Special thing, though, and it's like if you live where there's not much money and you need to buy one to protect yourself, they have some merit. They run for a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So those are probably the precursors
right now.
Those are probably the precursors to the Jimenez and the High Points of nowadays, right?
Yeah.
I would say the High Point's probably a step above.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
You ever see the High Point?
I've actually had one of those that lasted about a year. So, I had one of those 9mm carbines I played around with for a while. And I was surprised it lasted as long as it did.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Did you see the Bryco, or not the Bryco, the High Point ballistic test?
No, there was a ballistic. Who did a ballistic test?
Well, you're all waiting there, and then all of a sudden you see this High Point come into the frame and bounce off of the.
No, I didn't see that.
I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be funny. Oh, so it's just a video. You're waiting to see a round go by, and,
right, and then you see the
slow motion. It's the gun
itself. Spiral in. Yeah,
I saw that.
Nice. That is really funny. Okay, we got a bunch of people hanging out with us on the chat. I want to remind everyone, please click the thumbs up, guys. Click the thumbs up. Make sure that you share this video on your social media to let everyone know that we're doing this. We're pretty proud of what's going on here. We have some very cool dudes, icons of the gun world, of the AK world as well, hanging out with us tonight. So please click the thumbs up buttons. And the big reason that we're doing this show, I want to say to everyone up front, is Marc Krebs has the Krebs custom raffle going on. Marc, you want to tell us what the Krebs custom raffle is all about?
Sure. My friend Kurt and Katie Rasmussen are friends of ours, and Katie has brain cancer, and she's also got lupus and a few other things. And they are just getting pounded. And I know this is a little bit close to Jim's heart, and I'm sorry to, I don't want to.
No, you're right, Mark. It is.
You know,
I don't interrupt you. I'm not sorry. Go ahead.
Well, he's had some dealings with that in his life, and it's a hard thing. And I would love for these people to be able to get some benefits from all this. And they have. Actually, we gave them $7,000 the other day from what's been raised, and they needed it, and I'm glad we did it.
Absolutely. So just so that everyone knows, we have a link in the description to the raffle, and then I'm going to put the link, the raffle, also in the chat so that everyone that's in the chat can go there right now. I encourage you guys to go there. The tickets are $20, right, for a ticket.
Yep.
And I think you have a limit of 2,500 tickets. So that's the most tickets that are going to be sold. And you guys are ending the raffle December 1st.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know how many tickets are left to be sold?
I don't think it tells us.
Yeah. I'm not sure how many. I know right now, so far, as of right now, we've raised $9,860. So we hope to see that go up. I want to encourage everyone to go. There's some really cool prizes in here. There's a Krebs custom KV13 Mod 2, which comes with a Liberty Achaotic suppressor, if you're able to have suppressors where you live. If not, it comes with 3,000 rounds of 7.62 by 39. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah. And then the other prize is a Krebs custom Yugoslavian M90A rifle. So that's also very cool. I believe that's an underfolder, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's blued just like the original.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. All that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Very nice. And then I think there's a MB47. Yeah. There's an MB AK47 receiver. There's Circle 10, some Circle 10 AK accessories, including a triangle stock, all nice things. We're going to talk about all that, but I'm just encouraging everyone here at the beginning. This is a good cause, a family they're definitely in need here. If you've had anyone, friends or family that have gone through this, it's painful, expensive, and we're trying to do as much as we can do to help out the Rasmussen family. So I encourage everyone to go there, and you know, like I said, it's 2,500 tickets, so you have a pretty good chance of winning this. And it ends on December 1st, and then sometime after that, we're going to announce the winner here. So pretty good odds from where I'm sitting, and some very cool prizes.
Yeah, I don't think we've sold half the tickets, so the odds are actually pretty good.
Yeah. Cool.
And I'd also like to point out people like Jim Fuller and others that are spending their time trying to promote this. You know, I mean, Jim and I are kind of direct competition in a way, and then in a way we're not, but he's here because he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a good dude, and he's always helping people out.
And,
thanks, Mark.
Yeah,
very nice thing to say.
Rifle there, dude.
Let me chime in something here. I'll be honest with you. When Hank called me last week, and I really didn't know what this was all about. I thought it was just going to be a gun talk show type of thing. I didn't know about your raffle until yesterday. I looked at the link and I read about it, and it was, as you said, it was kind of it kind of hit home with me, because the cancer that she's dealing with right now is the same cancer that killed my sister. It's a very aggressive cancer, and most people don't survive it. I hate to say that, but it's true. So I was kind of really caught off guard when I read that, and you know, I'm kind of doing this on the spur of the moment. As you know, I don't own Rifle Dynamics anymore, so it's hard for me to say, hey, I'm going to give you a gun. But one thing I am going to do is I'm going to offer my time for a free build class, the first one-on-one private build class with me.
Wow.
I would just ask for the person to pay for the parts, and I'm going to do it for free because I want a piece of this too. I want to do something to help these folks myself. It's not about showboating. It's just that I honestly did not know until yesterday what this was about, and sitting here listening to it, reading about it last night, and listening to it, I want to help you. I mean, yeah, we can promote stuff, but bottom line, those who can't give back don't belong.
Amen.
In my opinion, Marc and I have been fortunate. We've worked hard at our craft, and we've become pretty successful at it. And you can't be truly successful if you can't give some of that back. And I know that's how Marc thinks. That's one of the reasons why we've been friends all these years, and most of the other people that I know as well. So I don't know how we're going to do this, but I'm going to offer that up for my services to raffle that off as well, Marc. So if you want to figure that into your thing, set it up with your deal, please do.
God, don't get me all mushy on you, Jim. Shit.
It's okay for this stuff, man. This is that stuff. We can have a little bit of emotion about this. We all walk around here like we're badasses and we do this and that, but the reality of the thing is life. And life is what matters more than anything. And when we have somebody like that that's going through this kind of pain, those of us who can help should. And so good on you, Marc, and good on you, Hank. This is a really good thing, and I'm really happy to be a part of it.
The magic of the internet.
Thanks, Jim. Jim. We really do appreciate that. Yeah, it is a tough thing. And I think it's something that just like it touches you, Jim, and it touches Marc, it touches me, it touches all of us. And, obviously it's awesome to have these guys here and talk about it. But really the big thing that we want to accomplish at the end of the night here is we want people to get to know about what's going on. And I really, encourage you guys to check out the link that we've put up there and go look and see that, to read about what's going on with these guys. I'll put the link in there again. I'll keep putting it in for anyone who wants it. Just ask us and we'll post it again. But it's really a tough thing. And so that's the reason why I wanted to make sure I brought that up early, brought it up multiple times. And at the same time, you can do something good and help someone out. And then you stand a probability of getting something cool. But that's like the second prize, in my opinion, just helping out people who are really suffering right now and letting them know that there's other folks out there that feel their pain and care about them. I think that's a cool thing. So, yeah. Yeah. Did you want to say something, Walter?
No, I just got 2 more tickets. That's all.
Oh, you did? Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Walter. We really.
That's why I had to go get a credit card.
Yeah. Awesome. And anything you win is 50% mine.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. You ain't getting that.
So we're gonna both go. If we win that class to go build that gun with Jim, I'll let you. Here's what I'll do. I'll let you pay for the parts.
Oh, bless your heart.
And then I'll keep the gun.
Bless your heart.
Such a deal, huh?
Yeah, that's a good deal. It's a good deal.
Yeah.
So, we want to do that. Let me try to, we'll come back and we'll talk about this a little bit more. Let me try to hit up some questions. Okay, we've got a lot of questions about this, Jim. So I'm sure that you knew this was going to happen. There's folks out there that wants to know what's going on with Rifle Dynamics since the merger and all that kind of stuff. Is there anything you could tell us right now?
We merged. I actually probably spend more time there now than I ever did before, mainly because only thing I do now is stuff I really like. I don't have to worry about administrative stuff or paying bills or any of that stuff anymore. That's
paperwork and all that kind of crap. Yeah.
So, I mean, just my own personal ones, not the company, But
right.
It's kind of nice. I spend a lot of time there now, and I really enjoy it because I get to do a lot more stuff that I didn't do before. And the merger, for one thing, or not, it's not a merger. I mean, I sold the company to my best friend. Okay. I mean, the guy that owns it has been a friend of mine for 20 years. He's a gun guy. His name's Marc. A lot of people know him. A lot of people have seen him around me. He's a good dude, and he's going to do good stuff with this company. Having him take over everything brought us resources that we never would have had, really, because I'm just not. That's not my thing. I'm not a business guy. I build stuff, and I'm in my best position. I'm in the best position I've ever been right now because I have a really nice setup that I can work from, and all I have to do is focus on building the best products I can right now. So I'm really happy about that. And the fact that I don't own the company anymore, sometimes that sucks. But like right now, I'd love to say, I'm going to give you a free gun to raffle off, but I can't do that. But I can give my time to build one. So
Yeah, but I envy you.
Yeah. So so since all of this, I mean, I know you're still doing a lot of work. I know the last time I was there, I guess I could talk about, because I don't know anything, but the last time I was there,
I didn't let you look at anything when you were there.
no, I was trying.
I know you were.
Jim was like, "Yeah, thanks for coming. Now you gotta go." But I noticed I could hear lots of noises, banging, stuff being moved around, and I think you've taken over the building that you're in. For anyone that knows, you guys have taken over more space at that building, right?
Yeah, we have probably about almost half of the building now that we're in, and and actually this may just be temporary. We may move to a bigger building sometime in the next year or something. I don't know. It just depends on what pops up, because we're trying to find something that we can put a range in, and we can't put a range in the building we're in right now.
Okay, cool. So when will we hear? Because I know, like you said, you're not running the day-to-day of everything, but there's going to be an official announcement at some point, right? Is that going to be SHOT Show in 2018?
Announcement for what?
For what's going on with the company or guns, and if there's new stuff coming out, or
there's new stuff coming out. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay.
Honestly, that Marc has told me, he says you cannot say a word about what we're doing.
Okay. All right. Understood. Okay. There we go.
His wishes. He's the man that signs the check now.
Right. Absolutely. Yes, we do. We definitely want to honor that. Okay. So let me go on to some other questions. I'm sure we're going to get lots more questions like this.
Broke the 10,000.
Huh?
Broke the 10,000 mark.
Oh, nice. Cool. Okay. Good. We're at the 10,000 point. Awesome.
Yeah. Passed it.
Yeah, we passed it. That's great.
Yeah.
Even better news. Okay, cool. And then, definitely let us folks out there, let us know, if you're buying raffle tickets and stuff like that, let us know. Cause now there's an extra cool prize in there that it's not officially on the paperwork yet, but one of the prizes in here is that you could win a build class with Jim Fuller. All you have to do is pay for the parts.
And that's pretty cool.
You get there.
Yeah.
Well, you got to get there too. Yeah, you got to come to Vegas.
Yeah, you got to fly out to Vegas or drive.
Yeah, you got to get
walk.
there.
Yeah, hitchhike.
Ride the mule or something.
Yeah, however you get out to Vegas.
Yeah, mule.
My local.
Yeah, it's a really good deal in my opinion. That's awesome.
And it'd be worth the trip for a free class. I mean, I think you'd spend more on a free, on a class than you would an airplane ticket.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the class has a higher value than the round trip ticket and staying in a hotel room for what is that class, like 2 days?
Yeah, our build class is 2 days and it's $2,300, but a private build class is usually 2 days and it's a lot more money.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, is this one going to be? Are you? So this is going to be a private one?
Private build class.
Oh my goodness. Okay. That's even better.
That's the best I can do with my time. I can do that with my time. Like I said, as long as they pay for the parts, it's not going to make the new owner mad.
Right. Oh, okay. Cool. Awesome.
He knows how I am. I have to do this stuff, or I go nuts.
Yeah, and we will come back around and we'll talk about all.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
No, thank you for doing it, Marc. Like I said, I didn't know what this was yesterday until I read that thing, and I was really I was floored when I saw what you were doing. You're a good man.
This sucks because I know everybody wanted to watch us get on the air and rip our throats out.
Yeah.
It's not happening today.
Well, we can't. You guys are in two completely different places.
Next year,
Yeah. Okay, so let's say if someone bought like $10,000 worth of tickets right now, will you guys get in a ring and duke it out? No,
I would kiss their ass and give them 15.
Oh dear. Wow.
The ass kissing from Marc Krebs is well worth it.
Wow.
Yeah, Jim might pay for that.
Oh boy.
Oh dear.
Yeah. For another $5, you can take a picture.
Oh no.
That's extra.
Okay. Yeah, someone be careful because someone might actually do it.
Yeah, somebody could do it. You never know.
Somebody spends 15 grand for raffle tickets.
Watch out for what you wish for.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody out there might have 15 grand. Like, wait, what? If I could do that and take pictures? Yeah, I'm down with that. So let me ask you this question, Mark. Here's a question that we're getting from a few people. What is a must-have add-on to an AK? So we'll start with Mark and then we'll go to Jim.
Well, must-have add-on is, you shoot your gun, you check it out, and you see what you're needing. I'd say the safety's a good thing, but other than that, it's up to your preference. What are you using the gun for? Some guns are better off left stock. Some guns are better off with flashlights, and some people just like to make them a frickin' merry-go-round, and that's okay too.
All the bells and whistles.
Right.
So you're not saying even like automatically put on an optic like a red dot or anything like that?
Well,
shoot it first.
Yeah, optics, red dot will increase your sight acquisition time. Anything that helps speed. But it depends on why you shoot. Why do you shoot, and what are you aiming to get out of it, and what are you aiming to use the gun for? So all of that makes a difference. As far as what you pick. I tell people we make a lot of crap. That doesn't mean you need to stick it all on your gun. It means you need to put what you need on your gun. I know I'm an eloquent speaker. That's what I'm.
So you're saying, like, if I come to Krebs and
advertising,
so if I come to Krebs and I'm buying this gun, I'm like, I want every part you guys make, just slap it on there. You'll do it probably, right? You'd do it if I really wanted it, but think about it.
I would, but I would still say, yeah, it kind of depends. You got busier days than others, but typically it's if you saddle them with too much, then they know it, and they get bummed that they did it, I think.
Yeah.
Educated decision on this is what you need, not, who's got the most stuff on their gun. It's where you need it.
Yep.
What is slowing you down? What's not working for you? All that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That makes sense. So Jim, what do you say to that?
I would pretty much concur with Mark. I generally tell people, particularly, we get guys that call up and they already got their mind made up. They know what they want, and we're going to sell them what they want. But, the guy that calls up and is not quite sure, I'll tell them the same thing. I'll say, man, go with a stock gun. Don't get a bunch of add-ons right now. Run the gun the way it is. Learn how to use the iron sights. Learn how to use the gun the way it was intended to be. And then you can really know what you need to add. I'm a big fan of a flashlight and a red dot. But I don't have them on every AK I have, because not every AK I have is for fighting. I have a lot of AKs that are just bone stock with just iron sights on them, because that's the way I like to run them. My little race guns, my race car guns are a little different. But, again, the thing is, the AK industry has kind of got to a point where there's a lot of stuff on the market that kind of falls into three categories: junk, stuff you think you might need, and stuff you really need.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's a good assessment.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know what I mean. It's kind of gotten to that point now. There's a lot of stuff out there that you might want to just avoid, and I'm not going to name things and stuff like that. It's not necessary. People can figure it out. And then there's stuff out there. It's like, oh, okay, I see a use for that. But a lot of times, it kind of falls into that category. You never knew you needed it until I showed it to you.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with that, right?
No, there's not. Find a use for it. It's great. But like Mark said, learn how to use the gun. Learn your iron sights. If you're a real rifleman, you'll do that anyhow, because iron sights are what's on the gun. That's what was intended, the way it was to be used. And when you learn how to use a set of iron sights and you throw a red dot on there, man, your world just becomes 10 times better. Because you've already learned your bullet drop and your holdovers and things of that nature. So now you've learned all the hard stuff from the iron sights, and now you can take that red dot and apply that information you have, and you can rack some stuff up at distance.
Yeah.
So, that's just, to me, that's just the right way to do it. I'd love to sell, like Mark said, I'll sell you anything you want on the gun, but at the same time, I'll say, you really want that? It's going to get, because people, we specialize in making the guns as light as we can, and then if you throw a bunch of stuff on it, you kind of defeated that purpose.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just our approach from the guns there. So
Right.
pretty much, like I said, learn the gun and don't worry about the add-ons. They'll always be there.
Yeah. Okay. So I think Jim froze a little bit there. We'll see what happens. Okay. So shout out to Chi-Town Tactical. They're in the building.
El Tenda.
Huh?
El Tenda.
Yeah. El Tenda is also in the building. Yeah. Is Marc still there? I think we got Jim. Jim's there. He just froze for a second. Yeah. Let me see. There was someone else I wanted to shout out here. Okay, there's someone. Someone says they know my sister. Okay, more power to you. Yeah, my sister's awesome. I love her. But if you know her, anyone who thinks I'm tough to deal with, then my sister's like 10 times tougher. So.
Oh,
More
she's
power
just
to
10 times,
Man.
10 times bossier than you?
Yes. My sister is out of all, like, she's got 3 brothers, and she's the most thugged out one. Let me just put it that way. And she's the baby. So she's like real tough, because she was like this little girl, and she had these brothers that were a little bit crazy. So she's pretty tough. So shout out to you. Okay, so let me try to hit some other questions here. So people want to know, do either one of you guys build budget AKs? So, Marc, you want to take that one? Do you build any budget AKs?
Considering it, but right now, no.
I mean, what's a budget AK today? Because we were talking about this a little bit off air. There's always people that tell me, like the OGs always tell me, I remember back in the days when an AK was $75.
No.
So, and then Jim was saying like, no, they weren't 75. Like maybe it was wholesale.
And they didn't look that good either. And there's a lot of guns, Chinese guns, all that stuff. They're all good guns, but they're not beautiful guns, and they're not. There's nothing wrong with them, but they're factory guns. They're made by the military. Economics is the key factor to a military buying a gun. And
functional.
This is what happens. They pump them out for as little as possible so that more men can carry them.
Right. So what would be a price point today that would be a budget gun? We're not going to see guns for 150 to 300 like AKs. We're not going to see AKs at that price, right? Those days are gone.
Well, that was
they're still important stuff.
And
what was that, Jim?
For $10,000. You can't buy a new car for $10,000 now.
That's
Not
true.
Not in the U.S. anyways. No.
Yeah, I think in the 80s, what was it? I forgot what year. I think it was 1985 when you could get a Hyundai Excel, because my dad had one, and that was like 10 grand, right?
It was way less than 10 grand.
Well, it was less than 10 for
when
a
they first started selling Hyundai XLs, they were like $49.95 or something like
wow,
that.
like 5. Okay, so yeah, so those days are over.
That was to get into the market, which they did.
Yeah. So we'll never see that again. So Jim, like today, what would be considered a budget gun, do you think? Like what's the entry level price on an AK nowadays?
Well, I don't keep up on that end of the market, but I think it's probably running around $600-700 for some of the cheaper stuff that's on the market. And again, like you said earlier, with the old Saturday night special things, that those things fill a void in the market. I mean, honestly, I was looking at some numbers from gun sales. I forget what year it was, but one year recently, there was 80,000 AKs sold in the U.S., and probably about 60,000 of them were budget guns, because that's the bulk of the party. That's the bulk of the buyer base.
The market. Yeah.
That's the market. That's what they can afford. Which is why essentially an IO cater to that market, because there's a lot of customers out there that buy their stuff. And if that's all you can afford, at least you got a gun.
Right.
Right. So, and if a person is only shooting maybe 100 rounds a month, maybe they only go out 2 or 3 times a year to shoot, those guns are probably going to serve you okay. It's the guy that's going to shoot every weekend that's going to find that gun not compatible with his shooting skills or with his shooting work. But you know, that again, that's a guy that can afford to shoot every week is a guy that can afford a better gun than that price range. You know? Yeah.
So like for the reason why I asked that question, because I'm assuming if folks are looking for something that's a budget AK, you know, I'm trying to figure out what price point would they be looking at, because if the entry level is costing you $600, but you want something that's a step above that, but maybe you don't want to go to the level of 2,000 or 3,000 if it goes that high. I'm assuming you're looking at something that's 1,000
or
yeah
1,200 or something in
and you
that
can get
kind of area. I don't know.
You can get a decent gun for that price range, because then you're looking at an arsenal, and even a Wasser can be a decent gun if you shop around and you have a few to pick to. You can probably find a pretty decent working gun out there.
Yeah, you know what you're looking at when you buy it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If you know what you're looking at, you can probably find a decent one for 1,000. You know, I think Wassers are going for around $800 or $900 now. An Arsenal's around 1,000, maybe a little more, depending on the model. But you know, that's a mid-range price gun. But they're also guns that you can work and run a lot.
Yeah,
you know,
they've cleaned up their act a little bit since the since Hillary didn't get in. they got to work a little harder for their money. So yeah, at least we got one in, because you know, many people buy those guns, so we try to make parts for those guns. And the stuff we got in was actually pretty nice, I thought, compared to what had been coming in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about how much things cost, like in the 80s. I think this is not the gun I bought in 86 or 85, but it's the same idea, the Type 56. Chinese gun. I think in 1985 I paid like $380 something for it. That was the retail price. I wasn't a dealer then or anything. I was just a guy on the street. So
yeah, we sold them for $360. They had 3 mags that came with them and all the crapola.
And the Type 56, if you watch the news, like anybody does,
Excuse me, guys.
90% of the guns you see getting towed around out in the world are Type 56 type rifles, Chinese ones, and they run and they run and they run and they run and they run.
You know, I know a special forces kind of special gunsmith guy that had a room stocked only with AKs, and he said the Chinese one was the only one that he could not get to puke. Now,
really,
that may be, you know, I mean, there's a lot of different factors in there, so you don't really know. And I'm not necessarily saying a Chinese gun is better than a European gun, but they all have strong points.
Right.
Yeah. So do you know how, for example, nowadays you've got a bunch of, there's companies that are making, like in the AR world, right? There's these companies that are making what they call bones or chassis models, where it's stripped down so you don't have the stock and you don't have the pistol grip and other things maybe that would bump up the price. You ever thought about doing that, Mark? Something, I don't know, can you really do that with an AK and maybe bring the price down a little bit?
That's kind of buck and excise tax, and that's something that the government frowns on. And
oh, okay.
You know, we don't, and the AKs are too labor and equipment intensive to, you know, expect your usual kitchen gunsmith to do, you know.
Okay.
AKs are not modular like an AR-15.
No.
Where you can put all, you can swap the pieces out in minutes. An AK is a little different than that, you know. A little more involved a lot of times. So
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's not like Legos necessarily.
Right.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Or at all. Yeah.
Someone asked as an addendum to that, Lola just gave me a note. She said, are the Chinese Norinkos the closest to a real Russian AKM we can find in the USA?
As a matter of fact, where is it here? The Egyptian guns are the closest. At least back in the old days they were.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Yeah, you got an Egyptian one right there, Walter?
Yeah, this is a band gun. It's not a pre-band one, but yeah, this is an Egyptian Amati. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them.
That was the first one that came in with a full European design.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and the early Steyr guns that came in before the ban, those things looked just like a Russian rifle. They were nice guns. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I never saw those.
This is from Steyr, you're saying?
Yeah, Steyr was the importer on those back in the day. I think they were back when I was buying a Chinese gun. The Steyr was like $1,000-$1,200 or something. It was like, whoa, and that was 1980s money, and that was a lot of jack back then. So
yeah, Jim, I think you were saying before we started, right, that that Century is one of the bigger importers nowadays. Yeah. So what's like? Are they the biggest in the game, or is there like a big, like 3 importers, or what's going on with?
There's a few, but Century does a big chunk of it. I really can't say what their percentage is because I don't really get into that stuff too much.
Okay.
But they do most of the parts kits I know that we get into this country come through Century.
Oh, I see. Okay. One of the questions I've got here that folks want to know: what is the best aftermarket stock for the AK variant?
Oh dear, here goes.
Yeah, so that's gonna be.
All right, Jim. Who wants to put their guns on the block for that? Jim.
Yeah.
Put your guns on the block.
I haven't found any. I mean, we use Arsenal stocks, or we use a triangle.
Excellent technique, Jim.
I'm sorry. Technique. Oh,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm just thinking aftermarket stocks.
Oh.
I mean, I guess the Magpul stuff isn't bad. It's just not really. I don't think it's up to the level of what Magpul makes for the M4. To be perfectly honest, I think they just kind of treat the AK as the redheaded stepchild, and it's like, okay, let's just make that. I would like to see them do something a little bit better because they are capable of it, and I think they could. Honestly, actually like their new K2 grip that they got. It's actually quite ergonomic for the AK. It's got a nice straight feel to it. It's really good for speed shooting. And since the palm grip is gone, we need something else to fill that hole. But the standard Magpul grip, to me, is just a little bit too angled. Even though we use it, it's just about the best available. It's the most readily available aftermarket grip that's not stock. So, but as far as butt stocks, though, we kind of stick with the standard traditional stuff. Warsaw Arsenal butt stocks for the fixed stock guns, or triangle side folders. Or in the case of our stock adapter, we'll use an M4 stock as well.
Okay, so were you just referring to U.S. Palm?
Yeah, U.S. Palm, of course, is gone. Their grips that's why they're costing. People are paying $150 for them, I guess, now or something.
Yeah, they're crazy.
So I know that U.S. Palm closed down, but I thought someone else was going to be carrying this stuff. That stuff's totally gone, right?
Yeah,
is that what's going on?
Actually, some of the stuff that they were doing. Yeah, I don't think their pistol grip's not available. I know people are trying to get the mold, and I don't know what's going on with that. But I did hear some of the nylon stuff they made, like the dog line of stuff they did. Somebody else has picked that up, and they're producing that stuff now. But as far as like their backpacks and their chest rigs and things like that, I don't know that anybody's making that stuff anymore.
Hey, could I take a moment to introduce you to a couple of my guys here?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And let me go to the bathroom. And,
okay.
I beat you to that one, Mark. I can't wait.
Yep, our gun finisher and social media man.
Oh.
And then get your ass in here tonight.
Oh boy.
Filling in for Marc Krebs tonight. We have.
Sit in the chair. And
Can't have that.
nope.
Live feed.
And,
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
he's one of our-
Okay, let's see can we see your best Marc Krebs impersonation, please?
Remember, Mark signs their checks.
Yeah, I know. He's like,
I
wait a
don't
second.
know if I want to do that.
He's in the bathroom. He's in the bathroom. He won't see this. No.
Nobody will see it.
It'll be an inside joke. So it goes like this. It goes, huh? It's an inside joke.
Okay.
People that
Yeah, we'll
know
take
Marc
that. We'll
very
take
well
that.
will,
I've seen Marc do that. So,
I do.
yeah, so that's a good one. Okay, how you guys doing there tonight?
we're doing all right.
Good. Is it cold in your neck of the woods? You guys are just outside of Illinois, right?
Yeah, it's about 50 right now.
50. Oh my gosh, that is cold.
Oh, it's not bad. Come
No,
on.
that's winter. That's Arctic winter temperatures.
No,
Okay, we're in Florida.
that's not cold.
Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're in Florida.
I don't know
Sunshine.
what's
I'm just outside of Gainesville, and Walter is in Safety Harbor.
Tampa Bay area.
Yeah,
It's 71 outside right now here. 71.
yeah, 71. Yeah, there you go. It's very cold outside. I think it's where I'm at. It's probably something like 75-ish, and it's pretty cold. As you see, I'm wearing like an extra shirt.
Must be nice to be in the sunny.
Yeah,
What are we gonna do with him?
yeah. How's the weather in Vegas, Jim?
Dropped below 80, so I had to put on some long sleeves too.
Yeah. Let's just try to make those.
Low 70s too.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm sure it'll cool off before the SHOT Show. So
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. It's going to get cold by the time SHOT Show rolls around. So someone asked, I don't know if this has to do with anything to do with an AK, but someone wants to know what it costs to put a Sten kit together. I guess that one's for Walter, maybe.
yeah, I kind of answered back. It all depends, I guess, who's doing the making, I guess, and what their time's worth.
Right.
About 3 weeks.
3 weeks. There you go.
And a lot of arguing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Walter's kind of like a Sten guy. Walter actually owns stenparts.com for anyone
cool.
looking for Sten parts and stuff like that. Yeah. So if anyone needs
Stens recently, and I bought some of your stuff to do that with.
Yes, you did, as a matter of fact. Yep.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you need anything, Jim, I'll make sure I get you Walter's info.
Yeah.
Not that I don't think you're gonna need anything, but
Well, I built 6 of them. I can build no more.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. So I think one of the questions that we've got here: are there any 5.56 AK in the works from Krebs or from Rifle Dynamics? Jim, you guys have a 5.56 in the what? I know the answer that's coming.
Generally, we don't. We don't deal with that too much. If people send in 5.56 guns for conversions, and we'll do them. But generally, we don't build 5.56 guns. No, it's just I own one. I think everybody should own one. If you're a real AK fan, you should own one, because if we ever lose our ammo, at least you can still run an AK.
That's true.
But we do not build them. No, we work on them, but we don't build them.
Oh, okay. There you go. So what does the Krebs guys have to say? I know Marc's not back yet.
Oh, well.
Can you, first of all, can't answer it. Okay. That's what I was going to say.
I can. We don't have any plans for any 223 or 5.56 in the future or in the near future at all. And the problem is just because they're not difficult to work with. It's just hard to fit into our production standards and rates right now. That's the only problem. We have lots.
You guys probably have enough problems with it as just getting good parts right now for the stuff you do build, and then you throw a curve of the oddball caliber in there, and it's
That's true.
People ask me to make. Oh, why don't you make this and why don't you make that? What? So I can sell 5 or 6 of them? No. No.
Once you up front, and then we can talk about that first.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the aggravation of doing it just to sell 5 or 6? No.
Yep. No. Not to retool the whole shop just to build 5. Doesn't make sense.
No.
That's very much a reality. If there's not a big enough market, it's just not worth going after it.
Right. Spin your wheels for nothing. Yeah.
Well, it's money and time better spent on other things that that more people would want.
Right. Exactly. Yep. So what about 5.45 by 39? Is that
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of that too. I don't get to shoot that much, but like well, this is kind of a hybrid here. It's the Polish, the Tonto with a real stock on it, which makes it 100% easier to use. But once I built one and I shot that caliber, I was like, holy cow, this is nice. It's like.
Yeah, the 5.45. So the problem we ran in with 5.45, because I saw someone, Jim, when you mentioned if we lose our ammo, someone says we won't lose our ammo. That's not necessarily. I don't think that's necessarily true. I mean, anything could happen here. But what happened with the 5.45?
5 ammo, so that is true. It can happen.
Yeah.
The 7.2 is made by a few American makers, and 5.45 is only made by Hornady. So
and that's not blasting ammo. That's
no, it's not. Even though they use steel case, it's still, I think, around 50 cents a round, so it's not cheap. And so if for some reason the imports got cut off, there's a few people making brass 7.62. I think PMC, Federal, a few of the big American companies make 7.62, but nobody makes 5.45. So if the foreign stuff got cut off, yeah, that's going to be an ammo problem, because I guarantee the price of the American 7.62 ammo will rise fast.
Oh, yeah.
That is just capitalism. And okay, at that point, 223 AKs might be the most affordable AK to shoot.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna shoot up really fast until a bunch, like maybe when it gets up high enough, then other manufacturers will get into the business, and then it'll come back down. But first, it's going up.
Well, that's kind of how it should have to go,
Yeah.
Well, you remember when 5.45 by 39 was really cheap. You could get it really cheap for a while. All of a sudden, the AR makers started making ARs in that, and I was like,
the price went up.
Yeah, and the availability went away, and as much.
Yeah, pretty much nowadays, if I see 5.45, I buy it.
Oh, I do too. I
So
just slide the can underneath the shelf someplace and forget about it.
If anyone knows of any good Black Friday deals coming up on 5.45, let me know.
Well, you were asking about what would you like to see? That's a good one.
Yeah,
See some specials on some ammo like that, original stuff, not not
I
commercial
don't know what
stuff.
our odds of getting specials or deals on that is very low.
The planets aren't lined up yet, so
yeah. And so just since you're showing your, here's my AK-74 gun right here. I showed this before the thing. I know there's not lots of bullpup fans out there, but this is a Century Arms. I think this is a Sportster that the Century Arms put the kit on to make it into a bullpup. So I like it. It's pretty cool. I mean, there's things I have to get rid of, like this. This is a cheap optic, and this plastic moves around. So someone here, I don't know, Krebs, Rifle Dynamics. Somebody, can help me out with this. I hope.
That's a good question here. I would ask.
What was that, guys?
Marc's coming back.
Matt,
Marc's kicking them out. That's what's going on.
get out of here.
Yeah. Go ahead, Walter. You're going to ask a question?
Yeah. So speaking of scopes, for the side mounts on an AK, side mounted scope, what's a good one? There's 3 or 4 different brands out there, but whose would think better than the other, or
You talking about the mounts themselves?
The mounts themselves. Yes, the mounts themselves.
Midwest Industries makes one. I really like the RSR stuff.
Yeah.
We're a big fan of RS Regulate. They make nice stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the RS Regulate also. I'm gonna say that. I know Midwest does make it, and some other places.
I have not seen the new Midwest. I think Midwest has a new one they just released, and I haven't seen it. I think they kind of, shrunk theirs down a little bit. I heard, but I haven't seen it yet. But the Midwest has always been a good, solid, sound mount. We just kind of started using the RS Regulate because it was a lot lighter, a little sleeker.
Yeah, I think easier to use and all that kind of stuff. If you have,
if you want to put a scope on your gun, that's probably the one to do. The thing to look at, I think, though, is like Vepers are. It's odd because they're pretty accurate guns, but their side mount is only held on by 2 rivets.
Okay.
And they're in line, so it allows it to
wobble
just a little bit. It kind of depends on the gun you put it on. The Yugoslavians have got they've got the rivets like high, low, and they triangulate the contact points. I think.
Okay. So here's another question that we have. Will either of you guys remake the Vepr AK for the civilian market? So I don't know who wants it. Jim, do you want to jump in there?
No, we wouldn't.
Yeah. I was going to say no.
Yeah. It's first of all, is it worth it? I don't know how difficult that's going to be to actually do that. So
it would be a lot of money to tool up to do something like that. Way more money than I imagined Mark and I put together could probably afford to do.
More than likely.
Yeah. I think, people will probably see some better AKs come out, though. They're just, if you're looking for, particularly for Vepr stuff, it's not necessarily going to happen, right?
Right.
Yeah. That's just how it goes sometimes. I mean, what's the chances of getting that opened up again? Because I know right now there's some kind of like trade embargo or something going on.
Well, there was part of that this what is the last suppressor thing that went up and they kind of pushed it to the side?
The Share Act.
Mm-hmm. There were two things attached to the Share Act. One was about, they basically said if a gun is legal here now, you can't block its importation. So that would have opened up all those bans. That got shoveled aside. And then there was another thing attached to that about 12-gauge shotguns not making them in the DDs. So, if something like that could happen and you could overturn all the Bush ban and this ban and that ban, then you'd have a free flow of things again. And it would be, it'd be a free-for-all for a while. But I don't know if that's going to happen. If that's a pretty, taking away all those bans to get the libs all fired up again. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
need a mind reader to tell you.
Yeah.
Well, with the Russian stuff that's going on in politics right now, it'd be an awful hard thing to sell to try to end Russian sanctions.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. Anything that's owned by Kalashnikov concern, we can't do business with. And that's, Kalashnikov concern acquired Vepr.
Right.
When Vepr was in bankruptcy, and I guess Kalashnikov concern bought them, and as soon as that happened, they got put on the ban list.
Yeah.
So
Molat got picked up, and
Is it going to help that they're going, because I think they're going private, right?
Yeah, but it's still coming from.
Oh, okay.
Well, they've been private.
They would kind of have to do what Glock did back in the 90s. Glock and HK, they opened American places.
Well, I thought Kalashnikov USA was in the process of doing that. I don't know where they're at in that whole thing, but
I don't either. I've heard things, but I really don't know. Technically, because they're an American company, I don't think, based on the laws, they can do business with Kalashnikov concern because they are an American company. So I don't know how that works, and it's kind of beyond my knowledge. I imagine there's import lawyers and stuff that can figure that kind of stuff out, but it's beyond me. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And here's another question. Have either of you guys written any books on the AK or even considered writing books? So, Jim, is there a book, you got a little bit of time now.
I've been asked to do it, and I'm considering it, but I have not. I put out an Armorers DVD a few years ago. That counts, but I have not done a book, no.
Okay. And what about you, Mark?
I don't, honestly, I don't see where I could put out a book and enlighten anybody. I mean, most of our things are about modernizing, the AK and all that. And the guys that invented it are the ones that can tell you about it, and they will tell you about it.
Yeah. Okay. So
That
here's
doesn't
another.
make them bad, but it just makes them.
I was got a kick out of the Russians when the wall came down and all of a sudden they became capitalists. They got all agitated because they'd given away the farm to every podunk country in the world, and now they're pissed that everybody's making AKs, and it's like, well, that's ours. It's like, well,
communism, baby.
Hey, you're on the wrong side. I think you're on the wrong side.
Yeah.
So
it belongs to the people.
So, Mr. Eugene Stoner's flying around in a private jet, and Kalashnikov's riding a mule. It's like,
Yeah.
Or he's riding a Lada, okay? Or Lada, all right. Which is a Fiat 128.
He was doing good before he died. He was recognized.
Yeah, no. But that was after the wall came down, though, too. So
yeah. Yeah.
He's an idol, you know. I mean, you know, all you gotta do is show up in a room and people pay to see him, you know.
Yeah, I think I've seen a picture of a very young Marc Krebs with Kalashnikov. I think so. Or was that photoshopped, Mark?
It was no, but a lot of people seem to think it was. Whatever.
Wait, was it photoshopped or not?
No,
No, it was real.
Oh,
No.
that was real. Okay.
Well, I had
otherwise, I wouldn't have had a scowl on my face when they took the picture. I don't know what the hell I was thinking about when that picture was taken, but I kind of was like grimacing over something, you know.
Yeah, maybe you had to use the bathroom or something.
Yeah,
it happens. Yeah.
Well, they were translating while all that was going on, so I was probably trying to pay attention, you know.
Oh, okay.
And
So was that from?
I always look confused when I'm trying to pay attention. So,
Was that from your Air Force espionage days?
Black Ops.
no, you know, I will tell you though, I woke up right before we landed in Moscow, and buddy, all that shit, the Cuban Missile Crisis, all that stuff hit me right in the face, and I said, "Oh my God, where am I going?" And then I woke up a little bit more, and everything was okay. But it did, and you know, your whole lifetime of being afraid of that shit, and then all of a sudden, wow, you know, I'm here. That was freaky.
Mm-hmm. So that was a cool meeting ultimately for you, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I was there at the right time under the right circumstances, and I was lucky to be there, and I got to meet who I got to meet. You know, it was cool.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Did you ever meet Kalashnikov, Jim?
No, unfortunately, I did not. I met his daughter and his son, but that's it. I did not meet him.
Okay.
I got to stand in his presence really close by, if that means anything.
Uh,
And go to Knight's Armament and see it and get in the private room there when he was there.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that was kind of cool.
Just getting into the private room at Knight's Armament is not easy.
Well,
yeah. So congratulations to you on that one.
yeah, I got to stand in his, you know, like a group of people, like, you know, here it's like, oh, there he is. It's like I didn't know what the hell to say, you know. It's like,
Yeah. Rubbing elbows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
So Joe Carpenter says, if I rub my laptop all over my body, can I get some knowledge from Jim and Mark? Don't do weird stuff like that. They'll never come back. They'll never come back on if you do that kind of weird stuff. I don't think they want to necessarily.
Yeah, we can teach you how to drink some beer and stuff, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So you know what? Let's take a little bit of time here. Let's go back. There's obviously a ton of questions. I just want to go back. The whole purpose of this hangout tonight is to tell you guys about the Krebs custom raffle. So I just want to go back to that. I want to encourage you guys to participate in this raffle. It's a very good deal. Lots of cool prizes involved here. Jim Fuller just announced another prize, but there's some cool prizes involved. So should we go through this, Mark, and talk about the prizes here?
Absolutely, yeah. Especially Jim stuff, because that's new and unsolicited, I might add, and out of the kind of his heart.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's discuss that. So this new added prize that's coming from Jim, let's talk about that first for anyone who's just joining us now. And I want to encourage everyone who is watching, please click the thumbs up button. We need those thumbs ups, okay? So click the thumbs ups. Let's keep everything going here. And of course, share this hangout with your friends and family on social media. So so what exactly are you offering here, Jim, just for the folks who've just come in?
A private build class. Whoever wins the raffle, they can call and arrange for a date. You know, we do it on a 2-day. It's a 2-day process to do it. It'll just be a private one-on-one build with me. They will have to pay for the cost of the parts. I can't give that away because it's not my company anymore, but I can give my time for that, and I want to, because I really like what Marc's doing here, and I want to help too. So.
Yeah, I would think that should be a separate prize, actually, and that would add to the allure of the raffle that Jim is doing that.
Yeah, so separately from the other prizes going on, we'll add that into something that someone could win, right?
Yeah, I would think. I mean, I think that should be a separate prize.
Okay, yeah.
Offering up more possibilities for people to win something.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
And
more things for people to buy tickets for. You know?
Yeah. Awesome.
Bottom line, that's the main thing. We're trying to raise money to help this lady. So
yes, and you
buy
know,
tickets,
and the family.
Absolutely. The more tickets you buy, the better your chances are. Buy a bunch of them.
Absolutely. I think Lola, we need to get some more tickets. And by the way, there is a deal, right, Mark? That deal's still going on. That if you give $100 instead of 5 tickets, you get 6. Is that still going on?
That is correct. Yes.
Yeah. So there you go. If you spend the $100, you get an extra ticket. You know, it goes to a good cause, and it ups the probability of you winning one of the cool prizes. Mark, let's go down through some of the prizes that are in here. So the first one is the Krebs KB13 Mod 2.
Right, and we have the Liberty suppressor that would go with it.
Yeah, so that would look something like this.
Would look a lot like that.
Yeah, pretty much exactly like this.
Yeah, it would look similar to that, and
yeah, this is a beautiful gun.
and
a very nice suppressor on front there.
Then we have a gun that we built a long time ago. What is it? The
Yugoslavian.
I think that's an AR.
90A, right? It's a 90A, and it's all blued and made as close to factory as possible.
Kind of looks like
and
this.
a customer gave this one for the raffle.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Which is a beautiful thing. He's a great guy.
So you guys used to make that, but you don't currently make that anymore, right?
We used to make everything once.
Yeah. So that makes it even more. That makes it even more special, right?
In a way, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So very cool.
Yeah,
and then, go ahead.
No, the 95A, which I happen to have one here. Actually, they are super well-made guns. I mean, I for this Yugoslavian stuff is like, my opinion is like top-notch stuff. So
yeah, the contour of the barrel, you'll notice it's a little bit thinner before the gas block, and then it gets thicker, and that was all about harmonics.
Okay. Yeah,
whether it shoots better or not, I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it looks nice. You know.
It lightens it up a lot.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so here you go. So now let's go on to the other prizes, Mark. There's an MB47 receiver.
Yes, made by the Sharps brothers. They make awesome receivers, and they once again, honestly, we started out with this raffle with the suppressor. Well, no, we started out with the rifle only. Mm-hmm. And then Liberty said, well, hey, let me kick in.
Yeah.
And then we talked to JMac and asked them to share stuff. And they said, well, let us toss in. And then I asked Circle 10 to do it. And they said, well, hey, let me toss stuff in. And then Jim's on the program now, and he said, hey, let me toss stuff in. So, I mean, all of this snowballed from one rifle. And it's way cool to see people do good things. I mean, I'm impressed with humanity at this moment.
Awesome.
Which
yeah.
is hard to muster up sometimes.
No, it's good to see. And, people might not think that as gun guys we're like this, but we're absolutely like this. Let me just read a message. One of the people watching us right now is Kurt Rasmussen, whose family, the Krebs custom raffle is in support of. He says, thank you, Mark, Jim, Hank, everyone. Katie and I are so, so grateful. Love the show. So that's nice. Thanks for watching us, guys. On my part, we're happy to do this. We like to know that we're doing something and we're giving back to folks instead of taking. Lots of people out there always helping us. We like to know that we're giving back and helping people. So,
excuse me for butting in, but I will say, I said everybody else, but you jumped on. Hell, the guy that does our computer graphics chipped in for the, everybody around us has been way cool about this. And the people it's going to, you got to see the man work and Katie work, and they're awesome. They're freaking good people, really good people.
Yeah, that's great to know, man. I mean, I know you and you're a good guy, and to go to this level and put this much in it. No, you're a good guy, man. You're a good guy.
But they're really good people.
Coming from Mark, that's a huge compliment because Mark is a good guy. He's a very nice guy. Always been great with me as long as I've been doing this. I'm not like, a big name or whatever in this thing, but Mark's always helped me out. And same thing with Jim. Jim's always been, awesome with me so far as I'm concerned. So great dudes. And, I'm not surprised that you guys are out here giving back to people because that's what I've seen you doing all the time. So, and I'm really happy that these folks are, that we're helping them somehow. We're shining some kind of light into their lives, because I know this is the kind of thing. I mean, I don't think any of this is going to make everything better, because I know ultimately it's a really tough thing to deal with. But it's great to see that people are participating and they appreciate it and all of that.
One thing I will say that Kurt said to me was that he was. I mean, he needs the money, but he was also totally taken back by people caring about him. Yeah. And he said that felt so good.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely. That's a good thing. And I know he had to, the guns that he had in his collection, he obviously had to sell, right, when all this started happening.
He sold. That guy is a gun whore, and he sold a Galil that I made for him that he's kept for probably 15 years, and he would rotate out on guns about every 20 minutes, and that one he just kept on to, and yeah, he sold everything he owns. I mean, it's yeah, that's it.
Awesome. All right, so you know what, Warsaw Patriot wants to remind me to shout out Zeke from Zeke Shoots channels here. So shout out to Zeke. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. And I want to remind everyone, please click the thumbs up and share this. And then for the folks who are going to watch this later on and even hear it when we put it up on iTunes, there is a link in the description, or you can just search Google for Krebs Custom Raffle, and you will find out what we're talking about here. Please participate and help out. We appreciate it, and you also stand a pretty good chance of winning some cool stuff by participating in the raffle. So I think Lola wants us to finish we were talking about the prizes, Mark. So Lola wants us to finish that up. I think that we have some stuff from Circle 10 AK. Right, some accessories.
Yes, he donated a buttstock, a pistol grip, all aluminum. One is a triangular fake, kind of, but it's well made. And he's got an aluminum grip, and he's also got the Xena style titanium muzzle brake.
Okay. Yeah, I think is there a charging handle in there, or?
I believe so.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
boy.
there's a charging
Yeah, I
handle in
think
there as
so.
well. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll embarrass them into giving it up.
Yeah, I see it. It's on there. It's on there.
Anyway, though, he's
Yeah.
a good guy.
Absolutely. Okay, so you know what? Let's go back to taking some questions here.
Hank, I'm jumping in. I finally made it.
Oh.
Had to work late, so I'm here.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. We see you. Thanks for showing up. Okay, so some people want to know what are the differences between the guns that you two guys make. So what's the differences between a Rifle Dynamics and a Krebs in terms of options and things like that? I don't know if you guys have ever even thought about this.
You should look at the websites.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, to be honest, we both use a lot of each other's parts.
Yeah.
Right. It's you should make up your own mind and look at each website and think what you want, because we are not going to get into mud wrestling here.
Yeah.
Well, we're not.
No, I don't. I think both of these guys make really nice rifles. I think it just, get both. That's what I say.
That's what I say. Get both.
Yeah. If you're asking yourself that question, just get a Rifle Dynamics and get a Krebs, and there you go. And then, in your safe or when you go shooting, you'll be able to brag to everyone that you have, you have two of the best. So,
yeah.
I plan on buying one of his one of these days. I don't, that's going to happen one of these days. It's just getting around to it,
Yeah. Well, you're in semi-retirement right now.
Well, I'm going to call up Marc and ask for a special deal when I do.
Well, I'd give you one.
I know you would, brother, just like I would for you. You know that.
You know what? When you call him up, just ask for the Hank Strange discount.
What's that?
It's twice as much. Yeah. He'll tag on. He'll tag money onto it. So there you go. Okay, someone wants to know what happened to the Rifle Dynamics DMR.
It just didn't sell well, honestly.
Okay.
We built a batch, I think, of 25 of them. We sold 18, and I'm not going to go down that hole anymore. So simple as that. The thing is, we found buy AKs for accuracy. They buy AKs to be AKs. And we built a gun that would hold MOA out to 500 yards. Proved it, and 18 people bought it, and that's all. We haven't had any requests for it since then. So,
yeah,
just kind of how it goes. Sometimes you hit a home run, sometimes you don't, and that one just wasn't.
Right. Okay. I think that's a good. That's a good
I
answer.
think
Right
also people don't believe it.
Yeah, there's a lot of that too. I had Travis Haley test fire the gun to get as much credibility out as I can, because I don't think anybody would believe he would cheat something like that, and he didn't. Bottom line, people just aren't interested in an accurized AK. I just don't see the market for it. I thought maybe it would be, or else I wouldn't have never went down that road. But there just really was not that much interest in it.
Okay. All right. Good enough there. I've seen some folks asking for gun porn, so they want to see some guns. I don't know. Did you bring any guns, Jim?
I got some in the other. I'm actually at home right now, but I got some stuff in the other room I can break out here. I do have one little special prototype part that I'll show you guys.
Prototype.
Yeah, prototype.
Prototype porn.
I like the idea of this. Let's see.
Now I'm going to actually show it to you.
Never seen before.
Show you.
Okay, now don't get fired on our behalf.
Nah, they won't fire me for this. I know that. But we've been thinking about this for a long time. We thought the market needed something like this. It's it's long overdue, and so we designed our own safety, and it's called. Let me get it up here to the camera here. It's called the Reb safety, and you see this is just a prototype, so it's pretty shitty looking.
What?
I'm trying to make this work on the camera. I can't see it in the thing here.
Is that
Well,
available?
you're a little dark there. We got to shine some light on it.
Is that available at Home Depot?
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually half inch.
That's how you start.
I was an electrician for many years. We're like, see how that works? You like that idea, Mark? Think that would sell?
Well,
what are you looking at?
I can't comment on that, Jim.
No, the guys in the shop made this up just for a joke today.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to say this. Available at Home Depot or Lowe's.
You thought it would be funny.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
P-strap welded on a safety.
It'll work.
It does work.
Yeah, I'd like to see you using one of those.
Hey, babyface, that could be for the post-apocalyptic.
I would use the real Krebs safety before I would use that. That was just a joke.
You need to make something crazy like that for the post-apocalyptic AK.
Yeah.
Double AK.
Yeah, this is my friend Babyface P. That's what we call him. Obviously, you see the baby face there. And he's a big fan of you guys, so he's jumping in to help us to moderate everything going on. But he does like to build up AKs. So, and he's gonna take the time. Here's an AK he built. Go ahead, show it. You'll never have Marc Krebs.
Yeah, Crink.
Again to show off your gun to.
Hey, nice gun.
Yeah.
It shoots and it works. That's all that matters.
Is that a Tula or a Bulgarian?
That's Tula. I wanted Russian. I spent the money on a Russian.
Nice.
It was expensive. It was stupidly expensive.
Yeah. They are.
There's lots of things in what you just said. Cool. Spending the money on the Russian.
Yeah, I was thinking of like a bride, but I know you're woman.
Yeah. So, but congratulations on that, man. That's pretty cool. We were saying before, it's not easy to go out there and build an AK, but people do it, right?
Yes, they do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not hard though. It's just to me, it was all tools. The hardest thing was spending the $1,000 on all the tools that I wanted. Building it itself was fun.
Yeah. But that's the thing, I think, right, Jim? Like I know there's people who, when they look at the price of what these custom AKs go for, they're like, wow, this is a lot of money.
There's a big difference from what I can throw together in my garage versus what you'd get out of one of the two companies. Huge difference. I mean, we shot the one with the suppressor on it at Hank's place, and Hank can attest to my face of how I was like, man, this is cool.
Yeah.
Compared to my knocked together AKs that I make.
Yeah, absolutely. It's worth it. You get what you pay for. I think you got the people out there getting a deal. So, okay, let's see. Let's go to some other questions. Jim, some folks are asking us if you got any flack after the Vegas shooting. What do you have to say about that?
Not much. I wish I knew why, what, how, and when, just like everybody else. I actually, know quite a few people at Metro and some pretty high up people there, and I can't even get an answer out of them. Nobody really knows. And I think the worst part of the deal is not knowing why or how for all the crap.
It's weird. It feels like there's a cover up or something going on.
Yeah, there's something up with the whole situation. It's not the norm by any means. So
I'm not a conspiracy theory kind of guy, but I honestly got to say, after all this time and nothing coming out that has, there's something that ain't right about this.
Yeah, I'm not either. I'm not one of those ones that but it's just strange.
No tinfoil.
No, me neither.
No, but it does seem awful quiet.
Yeah. Now, part of it, when Walter and I were recently in Vegas, part of the Vegas culture, right? Just because there's so much tourism that comes to Vegas,
so much money.
Yeah, a lot of money. A lot of things get tamped down, but this is weird. This is something the entire world is interested in, and Vegas is a place that has a lot of cameras and a lot of information that they're gathering on any given person at any given time. That it's weird that we're not seeing any of it coming out.
Yeah, it's hard to believe they don't have more video footage in a casino. I mean, I was an electrician. I worked on these casinos. You almost can't go anywhere in a casino without being on camera. I mean, maybe the bathroom, and even some of the waiting rooms of the bathrooms are on camera, not the toilet areas, but it's pretty hard to not be seen in a casino. So I don't get this stuff. I mean, the Mandalay Bay is an older casino, so maybe they don't have the surveillance like some of the newer ones do, but they got to have something in there. It's just.
Oh, I'm sure they do, but the litigious thing is preventing any of it being released. I mean, they don't want to expose themselves even more.
Right. Well, they don't want to blow their case, but it is unusually quiet. I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they wouldn't want to blow up the case, because the guy is not getting convicted of anything. He's not alive anymore.
No, the legal part, the being sued by hundreds of people.
Mandalay Bay is probably pretty worried about lawsuits right now. So
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's
okay, yeah.
And they are the victim.
Yeah.
well, the only,
I mean, excuse me, they're one of the victims.
right.
yeah, I'm sure they didn't plan this. No.
The weird part about it, I find, and I'm still very curious as a security guy, I got weird feelings about that security dude. You know, he's
Didn't he recently disappear? He's now like out of the
No.
country or something. I
Well, he
thought.
left the country and he came back.
Oh, he came back. Okay.
Yeah.
For a while.
Well, why wouldn't you, for Christ's sake? I mean, God, you know, he got everybody in the world up his.
Yeah, he was hiding out for a couple of days because all the media trying to reach him and stuff like that. And I'm still kind of questioning about that whole thing too, because I've heard reports that there were 200 rounds fired at that guy, and he got wounded in the leg, and there's no bullet holes anywhere in the hallway.
I heard there was like 200 shots through the door, and he got hit once. That's why.
Yeah, that's what I heard too, and I'm going, well, that just don't make no sense.
Yeah.
You know, especially if he's standing in a hallway, you're going to pick up more than one round. You know, that door is not going to be a whole lot. It's going to be pretty seriously damaged. You know, even 5.56, 200 rounds through a door, it's going to seriously damage it. You know.
Oh yeah.
And that nobody else got hit. I mean, those walls ain't exactly that thick.
No.
If that was the case, there was bullets going into other rooms. So, you know, the reporting on this has just been so all over the place. It's hard to make any sense out of any of it.
And you haven't heard a word out of anybody else who was on that floor either, I don't think, unless I'm mistaken.
I haven't heard anything. No.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, people heard it above, people heard it below. Where are they?
Yeah, it's, you know, unless people are just sworn to secrecy or hiding out or something, I don't know, man. But all I know is it's a messed up deal, and I wish I could say why happened, what happened, but I don't. Even with people I know here, I can't find out.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it's going to be very difficult to ever find out what's going on. Okay, so let's move on from that. Where is the ammo and silencer development headed, do you guys think? So I think that's like two separate questions in one. So ammo development, do you think, is there a need for ammunition development?
Yes.
So, okay. So
Not anymore.
In what respect? I mean, better ammo or
Somebody needs to bring out some 5.45 that's cheaper.
oh, we were already talking about that.
Did you guys? Okay.
yeah.
Well,
so where do you guys, Mark, where do you think ammo development should go? Or do you even care about that at this point?
Well, I'd like to see 9x39 come in.
Yes.
that's coming. Yeah, that's coming.
It's coming.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And I hear some people are going to make guns for it.
I hope so.
I heard someplace that some people are going to make guns for it.
I noticed Jim's forthcoming, but
why
I
would
never
Wolf
thought
be
about it a bit.
Why would Wolf be importing that ammo if somebody wasn't going to make a gun for it?
I mean, I think I've heard a couple of local U.S. builders are pretty close to finishing one right now. We haven't started one yet, but we did order a reamer to start to make a barrel. You know.
Right. Is it does it fit? I don't know that much about it. Does it fit in a standard mag, or it fits in what type of magazine? A 308 mag or something like that? Or?
I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. What do you know, Mark?
Yeah.
I think it fits in a 6.5 bag. Actually, it stacks a lot like 308.
Okay.
So let's explain to people out there, not me, but like, you know, let's say I have a friend out there who doesn't know what the 9x39 is. How do we explain that to him?
Well, it's a big ass bullet that weighs 205 grain, and it'll knock the crap out of anything.
And you can get it, subsonic and pretty quiet.
Well, that's what the Russians use it for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is.
And that,
Well, I mean, some of it's subsonic. They also have high velocity.
and that really cool rifle that everybody's jonesing for here.
So
but they'll
is
never
this
see it.
something new that the Russians developed?
Something
they had
that they developed.
Not new.
No, it's not new.
It's just not commonplace. I think it's like a spec
Okay.
ops round. It's not. I mean, most militaries using the 5.45 or the 7.62. I think this is mostly like a specialty cartridge.
Okay, so this
15
is
years
the
ago, they were trying to sell it to us. I mean,
Really?
yeah. So, but they've issued subsonic 7.62 by 39 for ages, and that's where they decided it wasn't quite enough. And that's why I think it's funny when people get AKs chambered in the blackout. It's like, why don't you just order some subsonic ammo?
Is there anybody importing the subsonic? I've hardly seen any. To be honest, I've never seen any.
It's a specialty thing, I think.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of companies of which I can't really name right now, but I could come up with that for your next podcast. I could.
Okay.
Yeah, there's several companies that make subsonic 7.62 by 39.
Okay. So now let's tackle the suppressor part of that conversation. Where do you guys think the whole suppressor thing's going? I mean, right now suppressors are there's kind of like a suppressor apocalypse going on, but where do you think suppressors are going for AKs?
Well, I think they should go up. I mean, it's like, why don't you fire up your car in the morning with 12-inch straight pipes? You know, you gotta make
Wait a minute.
I would totally do that.
You got to come to,
right. Okay.
you got to come to Florida.
I've had people ask me for flash enhancement devices and things like that I've made over the years.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's true. Like Walter's saying, here in Florida, people cut out catalytic converters and all that kind of stuff and go right to the straight pipes. But so obviously, like Liberty has the AK-otic. Do you think there should be more AK specific suppressors?
Oh yeah, I think it's when honestly, I didn't think a AK could be suppressed well because of the gas port size, but wow, they're suppressible. I mean, I think they're quieter than theirs.
I was just about to say, funny enough, my crank, I have I shoot an Omega on my crank, and it's only a 10-inch barrel or whatever. I think it's quieter than my 11-inch SBR AR.
Yeah. And isn't I think we saw something coming out of Russia, like a complete gun built integrally suppressed, right?
Yeah, the VSS.
Yeah, that's the one that
and
everybody
others.
Yeah, that's the one that takes that cartridge, correct?
Yeah, that's the one that shoots the 9x39.
Right.
Yeah. So when are one of you guys building that? Jim,
Yeah.
a second. Come on, Jim. No.
Answer that, will you?
I'm going a different direction. We're working on stuff like that, but we're going in a different direction with it.
Oh, really? Okay.
We did a lot of work suppressing the AK because, like Marc said, everybody said it couldn't be suppressed, and there's still people that think it can't be suppressed, even though a lot of people are doing it quite successfully. Marc's done it. I've done it. Dead Air's done it.
Tech's done it.
Yeah. I mean, it can be done if you know what to do. If you know the system, you can make the system work with a suppressor, and without being obnoxious to shoot. And so we can only go forward from there. There's always things that are going to change and going to get better. I mean, we're working on in a certain direction on suppressing AKs. It's not an integral type of thing, but something a little bit more user friendly for the market. And hope to have it out one of these days soon. But working on a lot of stuff right now.
Yeah,
I do think there's a future for suppression on AKs, like Marc said. You wouldn't drive your car down the street without a muffler, and it really should be I'd like to be able to go to a range and shoot without wearing hearing protection.
Oh, me too.
I absolutely hate wearing those things, to be honest with you. And if everybody had a suppressor, I wouldn't have to.
Yeah.
I've become such a snob. Whenever I go to the range and somebody's shooting like a 308 or whatever next to me without a suppressor, I'm just like, I'm going to go down a couple bays. This is obnoxious.
Yeah. So is that part of the development for that? Are we changing? Because, the moving parts on the AK also add to the noise. So is there a way to dampen down the noise with the moving parts, the things that are slapping against each other?
Well, that's not what a suppressor is necessarily supposed to do.
No.
Mm-hmm.
But, done in the right way, I mean, it's all about controlling the gas and putting it in directions you need it to go to make it not offensive to the shooter. And there's a couple of different ways to do that. I mean, we've used expansion chambers, different springs, different port sizes, a few other tricks that we do with things. One thing new that's coming out to be it's going to be a big plus is K&S just did an adjustable gas piston. I haven't seen it yet, but I'd like to see that. 'cause that has merit in suppressing an AK. And Marc probably knows what I'm talking about with that.
Yeah, that was a very good idea. In fact, that pissed me off. I was like, you want to know? I always go when it's a good idea when it pisses me off.
Well, is that the one that's very similar to this?
No, it adjusts in and out of the gas cylinder.
Oh,
And that's one way of regulating gas.
Okay, interesting. Interesting. So, what company is that?
What's that?
What was the company that's working on that?
Oh shit!
The adjustable port.
Yeah.
just said the name. I can't
We
remember.
conveniently forget.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, Marc doesn't want us to remember what the name is.
No,
I'm
anything
sorry.
we can't answer tonight, we'll put on an addendum and answer all these things to show that we're forthcoming.
Wasn't it KSS or something?
Yeah, so basically that means move on.
K&S isn't necessarily known for making AK parts. I was kind of surprised, you know. But they make a lot of odd stuff. You know, they make the PKM stock screws.
Well,
I mean, if you ever tried to find PKM stock screws, they're very hard to find. K&S actually makes them. You know.
yeah, that's a niche market. We'll say that.
Yeah, very niche. But when you need one, you need one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to go with making stuff. You know, I think that's good business. You know, to do it, especially when no one else is making it. Zeke Shoot says, "Would be cool to see someone start a run of Type 1 trunnions." What do you guys think about that?
Type 1.
If somebody built barrels to screw into them, that might be a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, like the old ones, kind of like the Sega shotgun trunnion.
I'm not sure, Zeke. You're gonna have to
Elaborate.
on that for us.
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about the Vityaz, the 9mm? Is that, I feel like that's one that I would love to own, but never been imported. Never really. I don't think anybody's even making anything.
What
like
is
that.
it?
The Vityaz. It's the 9mm AK that the Russians are using.
I saw a company making them the other day.
Let's see. It's built off of a 74 receiver. It sounds like. Yeah, nobody's ever imported it, but I've always thought it's really cool. But I think it's just and it's just straight blowback 9mm.
Is that a good idea in you guys' opinion? 9mm AK.
My opinion, I'll just say I'm just not a big fan of pistol caliber carbines. They're fun, but you know, if I'm going to carry a rifle, I want it to have a rifle cartridge. That's me.
Now on the guy that sells
that would be us actually. Yeah. Why would you take a pistol to a rifle fight?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's.
What's that?
Yeah. Okay. I guess they have spoken.
very popular now, though.
Yeah.
They are.
I mean, if you have a properly proportioned receiver, like the Russian stuff is, you could sell. You wouldn't be able to make them fast enough if you could get them. I guarantee you that. I mean, but the problem is there's no supply of them. So even Klishnikov USA, which has been promising, can't seem to deliver.
Yeah,
so.
they haven't gotten any.
Yeah.
Well, there was a few parts kits that came in, but remember those parts kits come from Russia, so that changes in a whole lot of them.
Right.
So while we're on the subject of popular, what do you guys think about, and Jim, you can jump in on this one first. What do you think about the rappers liking the Draco, or however you want to put it? Yeah. And therefore.
Thanks for asking, Jim.
Thanks for asking. Put me on the spot. No.
Yeah, go ahead. Take that one, Jim.
It's very colorful. A lot of things that go on in the entertainment industry that I could have a field day ranting about, but you know, I don't follow rap music. I couldn't really name a rap. Probably if I named a rapper, it would be somebody like Ice-T or Ice Cube, and I only know them from TV.
Yeah. Okay, those are good rappers to name.
And you know what? You're not missing a thing. Sorry.
Well, like I said, to be honest, I mean, I am kind of a music guy. I played music for many years, and I listened to a lot of modern heavy metal music actually, and the rap music has actually kind of worked its way into some of that stuff. You listen to some of the Five Finger Death Punch. You know, Ian Moody does a lot of rap stuff in his stuff. I mean, it's not like true rap stuff, but they're definitely being influenced by it. Now, as far as the gun thing, you know, a Draco is kind of a cool little toy, and I know it kind of has a street appeal. I just don't really want to get too deep into that kind of comment, or somebody out there is going to say, "Oh, you're being a racist," you know.
Oh, that's okay. I will write the ghetto pass for you if that's necessary.
I know you understand, Hank. But
no, I get it. I get it.
I can be critical about a Draco, but then somebody say, "Oh, you're just being racist because that's what that guy has." No, Draco is a pistol. It's not really a rifle. They're made pretty rough, and you know, they're not bad. If it works, it works, and if you enjoy it, shoot it and have fun with it. You know?
Right, exactly.
SPR it. Everything needs to be SPR'd.
Yeah, you
Put a stock on everything.
Real stock on it, not an arm brace.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, listen, an AK pistol, if your pants are already sagging to the ground, AK pistol not going to help that situation. That's my advice.
No.
You know, if you're already
You're
pants on the ground, doesn't help.
You're just going to be wiggling, trying to get away, and be dead. So,
Yeah.
Anybody?
Go ahead. Wait, I thought Marc was going to say something
Go ahead,
about this
go ahead.
before we move on. Let's see what Marc has to say.
A proper term is chop 'em.
About what?
That's good enough for me. That's good enough for me right there.
It's a cool little pistol, and that's what it is.
Okay, there you go. All right, Walter, what were you going to say?
See what society has done to us old white guys?
I'm telling you, you guys are like scared. Don't be scared.
No,
You got no reason to be scared.
Oh, I'm not scared. I'll say shit. I just get myself in trouble for saying it.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm here.
scared ain't necessarily his thing.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. I'm here to pass the, these aren't the white guys you're looking for. Okay. We'll move on. I'll move on. What were you gonna say, Walter? Walter's shaking his head right now. He's like, I can't believe you're doing this.
Oh, I can believe it. This is actually pretty mild, to be honest with you.
Okay, you know you're gonna get embarrassed a little bit. Okay.
You haven't done any lubricious lesbian stuff yet or anything.
Yeah.
No, this
I'm
is
being good.
really mild
I'm
for
my best
us.
behavior. Lola is watching me very carefully to make sure I'm on my best
I
behavior.
secretly identify as a wombat.
What?
Hey, I'm just trying to be weird, you know?
Oh, okay.
Everybody identifies as something. I want to be a wombat.
Hey. Be a wombat. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. I get it. You know, I want to identify as one of Daenerys's dragons. How about that? You guys probably don't even know what I'm talking about.
Nope.
Do you guys watch Game of Thrones at all? Jim?
Never watched it.
You ever heard of the Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I don't watch it.
Oh, never watched
I
it.
should.
What about you, Marc? You ever watch Game of Thrones? Hold on, let's see Marc's face. Game of Thrones.
WTF over?
Yeah. Marc is like, Game of Thrones, I just went to the bathroom. What are you talking about? No, it's a TV show on HBO. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's a pretty good show.
You haven't missed anything.
Yeah. It's got zombies and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, zombies. I love zombies.
The other white meat.
Yeah, the other white meat. That's a good one.
Hey, you gotta eat, man.
Yeah. You know, I didn't ask what was the perfect AK for the zombie apocalypse. So go ahead, Walt.
I was going to ask an AK question, but we got
go ahead.
This is a pre-ban FEG from Hungary.
Nice.
It actually was my first AK that I wanted, and when I went to buy one, all I could get was a Chinese one. So this I picked up in a trade a couple of years ago up at Knob Creek. But I was always just like the way they were made and the way they were painted and how everything fit together. I think there was decent quality guns.
Make nice stuff. They do.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, that looks like an underfolder.
Was there a
Yes,
question?
it is.
in there,
Yes, it
Walter?
is.
Yeah, Walter, what was the question? Or were you just bragging and showing up?
No, you
I was just making
a
it.
gun board.
I guess I was going to say, what do they think of Hungarian AKs? So,
Yeah,
you know,
Walter's
that's,
just showing off his AK
Yeah, that's
collection.
right.
Well,
basically.
I
they're
was
good
told.
guns.
Here, back up. I was told to bring guns. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and you guys want to talk about going to the potty and all that stuff? Go ahead. Go right ahead. You know.
No. It's good you brought the guns.
I know.
It's good you brought the guns.
there's
So
a
let's see the.
There's a
Go
question from chat. Have you guys considered doing any 12 gauge, like the Vepr 12s? Going into shotguns at all? Either?
Yeah.
Well, if they'd be there, yeah. Not to be a smart ass, but
Yeah.
That was from, let me see who that was from. That was from Sean M. was asking.
Yeah, Jim, you consider doing any Vepr like
It's like a 12, Vepr 12.
Just like Mark said, you know, there's none to sell. You know, you'd
Right.
have to. I mean, I wouldn't consider doing a line of something unless I knew I could get them in the future, and I can't count on that. You know, I mean, I kind of learned my lesson with Saegas on that. We kind of the first time when Saega, we had a pallet of Saegas base rifles on order when Kalashnikov Concern first declared bankruptcy, and instead of 108, we got 8 rifles. That hurt me bad.
Wow.
That
So,
sucks.
I just at that point I decided not to depend on any foreign imports anymore. It was just a business decision we made at the time. The Veprs are beautiful guns, and a matter of fact, I was so impressed with them. I actually built up a kind of a DMR type 545 Vepr that I really liked the gun. I thought, man, maybe we ought to offer this. And then shortly after that was when they were gone. So it's like, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Supply dried up on all of it.
Yeah. So would you guys take? So if folks out there have the guns, would you guys take them and customize them, or you don't really want to do that much anymore?
I can't speak to the new management on that. You know, I mean, I work on them occasionally because we have local guys that bring them in every once in a while. Whether our new management wants to take them in or not, it's really up to him. I can't make that choice.
Okay. Okay. I've got a thing here from Mark. Did you want to say anything else about that?
well, no, I was hoping to duck that question.
Hey, he's got to bring him back in.
I saw you over there being very silent.
We do production only.
He's trying to.
It's hard to tell a person how much or why it knocks you out of the groove so bad, but to do a one-off when you're trying to make a cost-effective gun,
Oh, yeah.
it just beats you to death. You can't sustain it. Mild modifications on guns that are ours and stuff like that. I mean, and or repairs or whatever. Not that our guns ever need repair.
Well, speaking of that, someone
it's something that we keep to a minimum.
somebody was asking me about warranty in your guys' guns. How do you guys handle that, or is there warranty, or how does that work? I mean, I don't know.
We don't have written warranty, but we don't really care if you're the original owner or not. We'll fix your gun and we'll pay for the shipping and all that. But it's we try to take care of the people that spend money with us.
I kind of do the same thing. I like to say I like to see you shooting your gun. So, I fixed some stuff that I probably shouldn't have fixed because it was really abused. Like when somebody sends you a rifle with a live round stuck in the chamber.
Yes.
I know there's stuff that
they're the U.S. Postal Service, by the way, too. And
there
you
are
don't know
some
how.
amazing people out there, and then but there's also look, anybody that buys a custom gun, really, they're spending more for it, and they should get the attention.
Right. And like I said, you want to see your customers out shooting. So, because if they're out shooting, they're showing it to their friends.
Well, that's one of the things I tell people. I say, first off, we'd like to see you back, and second off, we don't want you making us look bad while you're out there. So,
Right.
100% agree. That's exactly how we run things. You're buying a high-end rifle, you should get high-end support behind it.
Right.
Mark's right on about that. The same thing with us.
Yeah.
We've taken the warranty guns off used people that bought them used. And if there's a workmanship failure, we fix it. It's simple
Yeah.
as that. Parts
Yeah,
failure.
that's if it's due to workmanship. If somebody decides to put tannerite in it and shoot it, a little bit different story. And some people do that. I've had people buy brand new guns and tow them behind a Jeep and then tell me how good they were. And then I look at them and I go, ooh. You know.
Well, that's a whole nother
Let me guess,
subject.
that was for a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Had to have been.
Yeah.
I wonder who did that.
Hey, listen, if it got 1 million views,
What I'm talking about was about 10 years ago. I mean, just a guy out there wanted to see what it'd do. I was amazed.
okay, cool. So this is from Nathan Lopez. He says, Jim, I have a crooked stock on my Wasser 10. How do I check to see if it's just a warped stock or of a jacked up rare trunnion?
Take the stock off, put a straight edge next to the receiver, and you should be able to see if the pang is on an angle or not.
Yeah, see if it's off to one direction. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Hope that helped you out with that question. I'm trying to go through Babyface. If you see any other questions, let me know.
I had one. Jim, are you planning on doing any rifle classes? I think they were asking about build classes. I think they asked.
Oh yeah, we have one scheduled every month except August next year.
Oh, sweet. There you go. So I can't remember who asked that, but
are they all?
Here's your answer.
Yeah. Like how many students did you have in each class? Because I think they'll sell out really fast, right, Jim?
Yeah, we at this point we're limiting it to 10 students per class, and
Hank,
we like to keep a large instructor to student ratio in classes like that to make sure that nothing gets by us. You know.
Hank, I'm throwing this out there. We need to take the summer vacation this year.
Oh.
Go take a class.
Yeah, Babyface wants to come take a class.
Yeah, you'd be welcome, man. Come on down.
Oh, it'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fun. There's a lot more to it than most people think.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's a 2-day event. You build the gun the first day, and the second day, the first half of the day, you're on the range test firing and playing with other guns and stuff. And the last half of the day, you're just kind of polishing up your gun and making it nice. So we do a lot of stuff there, and you'd have a good time with it. You know, it's
awesome.
We're proud of the fact that there's a couple of pretty good builders out there right now that we train, and they went in business now and they're doing good work too. So that's the reason we started doing that thing, because we wanted people to treat this gun with integrity and build it right. You know?
And I think you mentioned before, but how much is a class? A typical class?
$2,300, and of course you get a gun out of that. You know?
Okay, so you don't have to bring your own stuff then. You're just show up and build.
No, we provide everything. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's Babyface's. That's his dream. He would love to build. He would love to build guns, build AKs.
Eventually,
so that's like a dream thing for him. So, yeah.
One day I'll get there.
So,
have you bought a ticket?
I haven't bought anything yet.
Yeah, you didn't buy one of the raffle tickets?
Oh, raffle tickets? No, I need to. I still need to. I haven't done
take
it
your
yet.
butt over. Do I need to put here? Let me
Let's
post
see.
this.
Put the link up.
Let me put the link up so that you can take your butt and get it. I'll put it up in the chat here so everyone can go do it. And I'll put it up in the chat over there, reminding everyone to go and participate in this raffle. You know, we want to get it going. There's some really good prizes in there. And by the way, Babyface, one of the prizes is you get a private class with Jim Fuller. All you have to do is bring your own materials.
Woo! Yeah.
So you
get your
might
butt out to Las Vegas.
Yeah, and get out to Vegas, of course. You know.
Oh, I'll take a trip to Vegas.
Yeah, so you might want to get in on this raffle, and you know, I think Lola and I bought 6 tickets already. Lola, did you get any more tickets? Yep.
I got more tickets.
Yeah, she got more tickets. How many?
I got a couple more too there, baby.
Okay,
Yeah.
Lola just bought another 6.
Oh, they're done.
So there you go.
Killing it over there.
Lola's awesome.
Great.
Yeah. So Lola just bought more tickets. You guys, I want to encourage you guys to get out there and buy more tickets. Lots of cool prizes. We are getting ready to show the guns that are the guns that we have here today. So we're getting ready to go into some gun porn.
All right, I got a question again.
Go ahead. What's the question?
Milled receiver versus stamped. The ultimate
Milled
AK question.
Yeah. Jim never gets this question.
I prefer. I
No one
prefer
ever
milled
asked
gun
Jim this
myself,
question. Jim, milled or stamped?
If I got to carry it all day, I want a stamp gun.
Agreed.
Simple as that.
There you go.
I like lightweight guns.
The gun you built for accuracy, was it milled or stamped?
It was milled.
Okay, yeah. So less receiver flex, less
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
I mean, there's some validity to that. Most mill guns tend to be a little bit more accurate. I mean, there's definitely a noticeable difference, but like I said, to me, an AK is to be carried a lot and not be a burden. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with the mill guns. I own a few and I like them a lot. They're fun to shoot, but as a go-to gun, it's always going to be a stamp gun for me.
Okay, stamped, and then stamped is lighter, right? So obviously,
Much lighter,
Here's a milled gun that I have. This is just like a cheap American Tactical Imports, but it's milled, so I've never had any problems with it. And I put the I believe it's called the Raptor trigger from TacCon, which is that that rapid fire AK trigger. I put that in here. So, what do you think about like triggers and things like that? You know, as an upgrade, do you like that, Jim, or you know?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
I'm a big, you know, the V2 has kind of been a standard. I'm a very big fan of the ALG AKT. I like
That's
that.
what I've been. Both my AKs have ALGs.
Yeah.
I will never go for standard.
My traditional guns, I keep a G2 in it because it's more a traditional trigger. But all my hot rodded guns run AKTs. I love that trigger a lot.
Yeah. Now, yeah, I think that's I've shot that trigger. It's actually a pretty good trigger. I hear it's not as easy to put in. I don't know who's got good videos on it. It's not necessarily the easiest thing to put in, but it's a great trigger when you get in. Yeah.
There's a little more work to it, but it's not bad. You know.
It's also the more affordable one, right? Because I think that's like I want to say it's $60 or $70, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think they're $50 retail for the AKT.
I think I got mine for like 50, 55, maybe somewhere in there.
Did you have a tough time installing yours, Patrick?
Not
we
at
know
all.
Jim didn't because you know.
No,
he's Jim Fuller.
mine almost dropped right in. The only thing I can say is they do have a over travel stop, I think, something like that you can file in. I never did that. Mine worked without, so I never messed with it.
Okay.
Yeah, AK specs kind of like that. It may work out that way.
Yeah.
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 So let's go to Marc. Marc, what do you think, milled or stamped?
I know people think Jim and I are on some sort of union or something like that, but I feel the same way. And Russian statistics say that the stamp lasts as long as the machined.
Okay.
And what the gun is kind of intended for. And I do notice accuracy differences in the receiver, maybe not with an iron sight gun, maybe with, it's hard to say, but definitely with the scope.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, and then how you feel about triggers?
The trigger you guys were just talking about is kind of a nice trigger. And mine was very easy to install, but then AK trigger holes aren't always in the same spot.
No, they're not.
That's a fact.
As perfect as they are.
Yeah.
I could be willing to bet that most are not the same from manufacturer to manufacturer. So
yeah,
they ain't even the same manufacturer.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Zeke Shoot says if the spring
in the same country of origin.
Yeah. Zeke Shoot says if the spring does not bite you when putting the FCG together, you are doing it wrong. AKs require a blood sacrifice to work properly.
I did get hit in the knuckles by it the first couple times, and the spring came over the top and hit me. But
yeah.
Try a twist tie or one of those little steel clamps.
Yeah.
That helps.
Yeah, we use 12-gauge shotgun shells.
Oh, that worked really well. You wrap it around the back and then put a shell over the top.
Smart.
Yeah, you just put an empty shell over the top.
Trade secret. Ha
All right, Hank. I'm noticing something with that AK of yours.
What?
Is that barrel rusty as it looks?
Is it rusty? No.
It's got a red tint to it. Everybody else notice that?
Yeah, the camera has it looks a little red on camera.
Yeah, I think that's the camera. I don't see that with my naked eye, but I could be wrong. Maybe it needs.
Know, man.
What are you saying? It needs some oiling. Okay.
Well, I just
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's green rust. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that special parkerizing that's green. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the screen. I don't see it with my naked eye, so I don't know. Maybe the camera's showing something that I can't see.
It doesn't look like it now. Looks like it on the shadow.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Now, Warsaw Patriot wants to know, what do you think about Brandon, aka the AK Guys project, where he built an AK capable of shooting the big 50 BMG?
Oh, the 50 AK, yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think about that?
Well, he actually shot anything yet, so.
No, he did. I think I saw a video where he put one round through it.
I thought that was an actual live round, or was it just a? I don't know. I'm not saying he hadn't, but I thought what I saw was like just a primary set off, but you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You put one through it?
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty impressive for a semi-auto rifle. I don't. I mean, I look. Anybody doing something new gets crapped on because they're trying something new. But if I was going to video a semi-auto rifle, I think I'd put off more than one round.
Yeah. So okay, Jim, do you have anything to say on this?
The AK platform is not built for a 50 caliber round. It's just not, or it would have been done. Figured that out too after he fired his first round. So that's all I want to say on that.
Okay.
Well, it's pretty ginormous in size, so.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to be
hand grenade going off inside a receiver. You know, you look at a Mod Deuce, you look at a Barrett. There's a reason they're built the way they're built, because that's a powerful freaking round with a lot of pressure in it. It can create a lot of damage if it's done wrong. So
absolutely.
I need to stop on that one.
The Russians are using the Dushka, right? They're like 12 millimeter, which is like a 50. I mean, if they wanted a 50 or a 12 millimeter, they would have gone with a 12 mil AK. But they keep using that old Dushka.
They've got
the Dushka too. How that thing's built like a damn Mack truck compared to an AK.
Yeah, exactly.
12.7 round is not much different than a 50. It's just a little bit bigger.
Yep,
it's about the same type of pressures and stuff. And you look at the way that gun's built, it was built that way for a reason. That's what it takes to handle that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Just Dano says on the ALG AK trigger, it's the roll pin install that can be a pain. That's what he says.
I never did. Mine worked out perfect without, so I never did it.
Oh, you didn't do it. Okay. And then with I know that with that 50 AK that we're talking about, I mean, you're going to be looking at, you know, once if that ever comes to fruition, you're looking at a $20,000-$30,000 gun. Yeah. So.
What, for the AK thing?
Yeah, the AK-50. If he ever actually builds those and sells those,
I'm not sure it'd be 20 or 30. I think it'd be on par at least with like the Barretts.
If you can't come in underneath a Barrett, you won't sell one.
I think that's going to be an expensive gun to actually build and put out there into the world. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, well.
So it's a cool thing. I think it's a cool thing, and it's you know, I'm not against any gun existing in the world. Guns are good, you know.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, but it's gonna be something very expensive to be out there. Okay, so let's show some guns, guys.
Well, I've been waiting for that.
Let's see, Krebs, you guys have some guns you can show us? Let's see the gun. Show us your guns.
Grab a gun out of the bedroom.
Yeah,
like Type 2 or my Russian guns.
Yeah, see, Jim's getting his guns. Let's see some guns up. Let's get some guns up.
Yeah, my wife's going to grab me a couple of guns out of my man room.
Oh,
I'm home right now. I'm not at the shop.
Here, I got another home build. Well, you guys.
Okay, in the meanwhile, so go ahead, babyface. Here's your opportunity. Show off.
This is a 87. Well, I don't know when it was. No, 69 tool of parts kit.
Nice.
Again, I wanted to go Russian. I'm a snob, so I built up a.
And you have the good basics, I think, on there. Look, you got a sling. When people were asking us earlier about the basics, a sling is a good basic to put.
Yeah, I went for a sling. It maintained everything. The only thing that I did different was I Cerakoted it instead of going with like whatever sort of crazy paint job the Russians use. I went with Cerakote because it's available and it works really well for me. But
yeah,
it shoots really well, and it works.
Scott Kimball says $2K for a 50 AK. That's about all he's going to pay. I don't think it's going to be $2,000.
Well, guess what? Well, I mean, for a semi-auto, you're not going to see anything for that. So
yeah. Good luck with that one.
I mean, you can get one of my single shot uppers for less than that. So.
Did you guys already ask the question what each prefers shooting? Do you guys like 5.45 or 7.62 better?
Jim, what are you for? 5.45 or 7.62?
I'm a 5.45 guy all the way. I love that round.
I love the 5.45. Hank can attest to that.
Yeah,
I
me
love
too.
shooting 5.45.
5.45. I don't know. Mark, what are you? 5.45 or 7.62?
I like 5.45 personally.
There you go. Walter, you want to chime in on this?
Walter,
I like the 5.45. I mean, but whatever we're shooting that day is fine.
7.62 help up with the fireballs. That's what Walter likes.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, this one you mean?
Yeah, a little tiny thing. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody have any love for the FPK or the 5.45?
One, they're not bad.
Yeah, actually, I like them.
Yeah, the factory guns were actually pretty good guns.
Yeah. As long as you don't have too high expectations, you're all right.
I wouldn't say that, man. I'll tell you, they'll group like 2.5 inches at 100, but at 500, they'll get about 6 to 8.
Right. I mean, and obviously
the imparted vibration on the barrel, they yaw out and then they come back in.
Oh, okay.
Something I learned from Ventresters, but is definitely the case with mechanically induced barrel whip.
Oh, okay. Obviously, with better ammo, you get better results too. So,
yeah. Warsaw Patriot says he shot multiple live rounds. I didn't see that, but I'm not arguing with that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that either. I mean, he probably did. I haven't seen it though. So.
Yeah, I haven't.
I'm not following it close or anything. So.
Yeah. Okay, so Mark, what do you got?
We got. No, this is not anything we make anymore, but this is a AK-104.
Ooh.
Nice. Pretty traditional, except for our flash hider on the end.
That's a pretty gun.
They have a little bit shorter booster on it normally than a Krinkhoff.
It looks good.
But yeah, it's a cool gun.
And what kind of stock? I can't see the stock on that.
I beg your pardon?
What kind of stock do you have on there?
That's just the Russian triangular.
Oh, triangular.
Favorite stock. I love the triangle stock.
Yeah, me too. Actually.
Speaking of those stocks, which I happen to have one of those right here. Who's got the rest of the pieces for the? Oh. This is a 4.5 millimeter. Any good sources for those?
I think Krebs.
The products are pricey.
Yeah, Krebs. Do you guys still make those, or you're not making those?
No, we don't have availability to the parts that we can rely on. Right. And like Jim was talking about earlier, you can't set up for something that you're not going to. Nothing makes people madder than offering something that you can't stock.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Jim, I know you've got something very nice there to show us. I'm talking about the gun. Okay.
There's I'm at my house, so I'm just I just have to deal with what I got at my house. But this is my personal gun. This is a 1950 Type 2 re-weld. Pretty cool gun. It actually shoots pretty good still.
That's cool.
Yeah. What did you say? 1950?
It's a re-weld.
Yeah. Is it a post sample?
Okay, cool.
Let's try to get it up to the camera there. I don't know if you can see the. Probably not.
To see the welds on it.
You can't see the welds. We did a pretty good job with it. I spent a lot of time on cleaning this thing up. Even inside, it's pretty hard to find the welds.
Oh wow,
that is super, super cool.
Yeah. So that's kind of a cool gun. I mean, and then on the other end of the spectrum is probably my URD. Oh wait, this one's loaded. Hang on.
The way it should be.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I think this is probably the best gun that we've ever produced. It's a hybrid between an AKS-74U and an AK-105. So essentially, it's a crank with a full-length handguard and rail. And this particular barrel length at 11.5 is really, really good for suppression. We found this to be quite effective. I'm running a Surefire 30 caliber can on this thing.
Okay,
and
cool.
it's even with 5.45, it's pretty quiet.
It's
yeah. So basically, I see like on there you've got what looks like you got the Surefire, you've got a light, I want to say, and a red dot, right? That's all. That's it.
Yeah.
And
the red dot.
And a strap, right? And that's basically the sling.
I run the HSP Haley sling that he uses. It's a combination 2.1 point sling, very lightweight, and I like it a lot. Aim point T1. And you notice I'm using Krebs handguard here. It's a little bit modified, but we we like to play with stuff. But I don't know what. I never asked Marc what he thought about us doing that, but it's like, hey, I got the ultimate.
You hacked the handguard,
Great, man. I wouldn't have sold them to you if I didn't like it. No, I think that's cool.
Well, rather than, I'm still buying your part, right?
And there you go. Yes. You can sell us back the top half,
Well, I actually thought, maybe we want to send these things back because I think we got a shitload of them in the shop right now.
You probably do.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll look into that because we don't really use them, so maybe I'll send them back to you because we don't use them at all. Not that they're not usable. It's just that this is the setup we like.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's a good idea. Okay, Marc, did you get some other stuff in there? Let's see, what's the next thing you're pulling up here?
Just looking at. May or may not have it.
Oh. Okay. Let's see. What would you guys like to see? I'll let the other guys here on the panel.
Jim, I had a question for Jim.
Okay.
When you run triangle stocks, do you always run one of your what is the little thing that goes in the back? God, what's it called?
Stock pouch?
Your little zipper pouch. Do you run those on all of them?
On my guns, yeah. They serve a good purpose. I keep rounds in them, a spare bolt, SBR papers.
Yeah.
One thing we found them to be really helpful for, and even particularly here in our desert environment in the summer, it gets pretty hot, and it's kind of nice to have that insulation away from the metal.
Yeah. You don't burn your cheek off.
Yeah, in cold weather, if it's like freezing weather and you stick your face up there and it sticks to it or something.
Yeah.
So it's kind of helpful for that reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well.
Yeah. Okay, Marc, what was that gun you guys pulled off the rack there?
This is a AMD that we made a kit for Blackwater, and they had a cache of brand new AMDs they could get a hold of, but by the time we got it done, they had been absorbed into another military outfit and weren't able to use them.
Some operators sold them off.
Contract things that happen that stink, but the people that were kind of sponsoring the project were true in their hearts. It's just the military kind of screwed it up.
Okay. I like what Tim is playing with right there in the background. What is that? Bring it up. Let's see it. It's not exactly.
It's not AK related, but
not an AK, but yeah.
Like a.
Is that loaded? Point at my face.
Yeah, I
Okay. Machine gun safety.
know. Right.
Muzzle sweep everyone.
Yeah.
You've got to be fair.
Stop it.
Yeah. All right, very cool. Okay, so any other thing? You know what? I've got a question in here. Merc Maniac says, no. So he says the ALG AK trigger beats half the garbage aftermarket AR triggers out there. And then I got another question asking, like, do we think that there'll be a binary style AK trigger? Like, so you're seeing these binary. In other words, when you pull the trigger, it shoots. When you release it, it shoots. What do you guys think about that? Would that be good for the AK or? Huh?
I could care less. I think it's probably. I know there's people that like that stuff, but it creates a lot of problems. Right now they're trying to regulate that stuff as it is, so I really don't have any desire for one myself, but I know there are people that do.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think we might be talking to one.
Yeah.
Not me though.
Well, that's easy for me to say that because I'm a manufacturer and I have machine guns.
Well, I do too. Yeah, but I'm not talking about me.
no,
Yeah.
Hank loves them.
Yeah, Jim's not saying they shouldn't exist. He just says he's got the machine gun.
I'm up there with Hank. I can't afford a machine gun, so they're a good alternative.
I have dealer samples.
Oh, yeah, me too. Both samples. Yeah.
I wish I could just go out and buy post samples because I would own too many of them.
Yeah,
That's kind of what happens.
yeah, exactly. That's how it goes down. So, what did you think about that, Marc?
I don't like them much,
Okay.
but that's like I said. there are many things in the firearms world that work and have their place. And just because they're not in my place or Jim's place, it doesn't mean that they're not a viable product, long as they're safe.
Well done.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. And I think that those triggers work better than bump fire or slide fire or however you want to put it. But all of that stuff has a place. Huh?
It's certainly more controllable, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they are more controllable. And you know, for whoever was asking about that, I forgot who was asking that question right now. But I think that those companies are working on something like that. So you'll probably see
sure they are.
something.
Rumor is it's in the works, from what I've heard.
Yeah, I think
sure
those
it
things are in the works. Man Brown 1 says he'd like to know Mark and Jim's views on the Russian AK-107.
Are you talking about the counterbalance gun?
That's
I
the
have no
AN-94.
That's
idea.
the AN-94, yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. I would have to look up the AK-107.
Is that that's one of the newer
'Cause I
models?
don't know. Yeah.
Well, there you have the problem right there. Nobody's seen them. Unless
Yeah.
you've been to Russia or you've been in the CIA, you probably haven't seen one.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to make a judgment on guns like that. I mean, Larry Vickers has got a chance to go there and play with that stuff. I hope to next year. We kind of have an end to do the same thing he's been doing. But
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
You need like a bodyguard on that trip, or you know.
They just blindfold you and take you somewhere. And
I was supposed to be there with Lyndon.
We got the AN-94, but it didn't seem like it. I would have rather had a 74, I think, at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to beat the standard AKM and AK-74 designs. I mean, they're pretty flawless guns. The newer improvements may be good, you know, but I mean, the simplicity of the gun and the way they work.
I was just about to say, there's a beauty to simplicity.
Yeah, I
How
think
to break one.
Right, and the AN-94 weighed 9.5 pounds.
Yeah.
Do 1,800 rounds per minute until it kicked into 450. And though it was truly a concept that has not been pioneered, which was gorgeous about the thing, in reality, I don't think I could have hit better. I think I could have done better with the 74 than I did with that. Even though it was truly an interesting thing.
yeah.
Okay.
It's complicated to make too. Lots of little pieces and wheels, and that's the one that's got a cable inside and all that stuff. And it's like
Cable and
yeah, that's just
Again, it comes down to the simplicity. I mean, the reason why AKs are so prolific is because they're simple and cheap to make, and you can put it in the hands of anybody, and they can learn to
Did you
shoot
say
it.
they were easy to make?
Yeah.
Like
these.
Just say they were easy to make.
Garage
Who
AKs aren't too bad.
Who is this guy?
Double AKs aren't bad.
I want him off the show now.
Yeah, I'll mute him. I'll mute him, Mark. Listen,
But you can teach somebody to shoot one of those in like 2 minutes in the hills of Africa or Pakistan or wherever.
right. Well,
Yeah.
that brings up a subject that
Mark,
I
he's saying that now, but listen, he's a future AK builder. Let's see what he's saying, 10 years from now when he actually gets into the business.
Let me. I should bring my girlfriend over and have her tell you how many nights I came in from the garage cursing, trying to build. I spent a summer trying to build this AK, the Crank.
Oh, really?
Oh my god! I spent so many nights just cursing myself to sleep because like something wouldn't fit, something didn't work. Got to modify this. Got to make this work.
Really?
Did you have to drill out rivets?
Yep. Had to drill the rivets, and that was the biggest pain in the ass. I hate doing that.
Okay.
This one I didn't do.
Then you're vetted.
No, I didn't. Actually, both part kits, I had to drill rivets out, and I hated every moment of it.
Yeah. We'll see when we get him down here. Okay, this is going to be the last question. I'm sure you guys have never heard this question. What do you think is more accurate when it comes to cartridges, 223/556 or 545 by 39?
Who's the question?
Jim.
I would say that as it stands now, the 556 probably has the potential to be more accurate, mainly because there's more choices. We can reload it here. We can buy who knows how many different types of loadings of it. Whereas with the 545, you're pretty limited. So if the 545 had the ability to be the way, if it was the same in our market as the 556 was, I think the 556 would have some serious competition.
Yeah. Okay. Mark, you want to take that one?
I believe that. And I also believe it's a more reliable cartridge.
Exactly.
Conical shape. And that's where the 223 gains a little bit of accuracy, but I don't think it's worth it. And the ballistic coefficient of the bullet is actually pretty good too.
Okay. And
go
ahead.
accuracy-wise, I've been able to hit man-sized targets beyond 700 yards with that round. So it doesn't really need to be more accurate for what the gun.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah. And just FYI, babyface, Peggy Killer Keller says that's your fiance now. So
Oh my God, yeah, I have to say that now.
respect it. Don't call her your girlfriend anymore. She's moved on to a.
Yeah, you get picked on by everybody.
They're not picking on Walter tonight, like so I guess I'm taking the front of it.
Yeah, don't mess it up now, man, because she gets to keep that ring no matter what happens. And you're gonna be crying about how many AKs that ring could have bought. Okay. Yeah.
Don't do it. Do it.
Yeah. So you know what? Okay, we've been doing this for over 2 hours. I think we should wrap up right now. I want to remind everyone that's watching that the whole point of this, if you guys appreciate the fact that we had Jim Fuller and Marc Krebs on here, then the way that I'd like you to thank them and thank us for doing this is please participate in the Krebs Custom Raffle. There is a link in the description. You can just search on Google Krebs Custom Raffle. There's lots of there's some really cool prizes in the raffle. Several AKs in there, and you get parts, including a receiver, and just added to it. It's not officially on the list yet, but you get to have a private building class with Jim Fuller. You just have to provide the materials.
You can scratch.
We just got to charge it for the parts. That's all.
You can scratch that off the list because I'm winning that one.
That's huge. The time it's going to take him to show a person, that is huge.
It's amazingly huge.
Yeah.
That's a very cool thing.
Yeah. I want to win that. I've actually hung out with Jim and done some videos on him, but he hasn't shown me how to build anything yet. So
that could take more than 2 days, though.
It could take a long time. Jim will probably wind up burying me somewhere in the desert and just telling Lola. He never showed up over here, Lola.
A lot of holes out there.
So it's a really great raffle. It's for a really good cause. There's a family right now in need. The wife is going through cancer and all that kind of stuff. I think we all understand how that is. So, really, I think this was like a great show. I'm really happy that these guys showed up here and they did it. It's very generous of everyone to come on. But the big thing here is we do want to do a push for the custom raffle. We got it over 10,000. I think we're at 10,700 right now. And I look forward to seeing this grow over the days. We'll have Marc come back before December 1st. I think it's ending on December 1st. There's 2,500 tickets. It's $20 a ticket. If you spend $100, you can actually get 6 tickets.
20 a ticket.
Yeah, 20 ticket. Yeah, 20 a ticket. And if you spend 100, you can get like 6 tickets. So that's a good deal. Very good chance of winning something very cool, as we said. So you know what? I'm gonna wrap up. Jim, I know you're tired. Is there any last things you want to tell the folks out there before we go?
Buy raffle tickets. Buy tickets. Support these people and help them. That's why we're here. I commend Marc for doing this. I commend you for helping him do it, and that's why I'm here. Buy the tickets. Help these people.
Yeah, Jim had a grand total of 2 days to get ready for this too, and he jumped right on. And thank you, Jim. I truly, this really helped the show thing go on and hammer in the point, and I appreciate your participation big time.
Thanks, Marc. Wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, buddy. Keep doing what you do.
And all of you for doing this. It's freaking awesome. I appreciate it.
Great. Are there any last things you want to remind us of before we go, Marc?
eat, drink, and be merry.
Absolutely. Good one.
Well, let me ask something here. I don't know if anybody else is going to do it. Anybody have any Black Friday specials?
Yeah. Do you guys, Mark, you having any Black Friday stuff going down?
Gonna sell the tops of those Jim Fuller's hand guards you got there?
Yeah, I forgot about it. So I'll have to tell you tomorrow. But
they autograph those things and get top dollar for them.
Yeah. Well, if you get if don't give Jim more work to do. He's semi-retired. He's semi-retired. We don't want him to have
not
to
semi-retired.
No, I'm not, man. I work more hours now than I did.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
I know, and he's happy.
More
and
interested now than
he's
you were
giving
then.
me more heartache now than he ever has. So it's good.
No, it's good. It's good. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. So, listen, if you, Mark, and same thing, Jim, do you guys have any Black Friday stuff coming up? Any specials? I don't know.
we do have something coming, but I don't know what it is yet. They were talking about it around the shop today. And again, I don't own this place anymore, so somebody else makes those choices. But there is something coming. We will have a Black Friday sale.
Yeah, here's what we're going to do. I think the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, 24 hours before Thanksgiving, we're going to have a specific show here for Black Friday. We're going to have lots of deals. I can tell you guys that right now. We're going to have some deals from Safety Harbor Firearms from Walter, but we will check back with Rifle Dynamics as well as Krebs Custom, and whatever Black Friday sales they have going on, we'll bring those to you guys as well.
I'll give you a preview.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna. Oh, you're gonna give us a preview, Walter?
Yeah. We're gonna have all of our stocks, whether the Kess stock for the AR or the SIG stock for the MCX and the MPX, and the Rattler, and our steel stocks for the 50 cal rifles, all 20% off. And that's not including the new CZ one, but that's already marked down below. That's a dealer price right now. So,
Okay.
yeah, 20% off on all the stocks. So,
Yeah. So for anyone who's looking for Black Friday deals, come back and check us out Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. We'll have that. We'll have some exclusive stuff. I can tell you guys we're actually going to have some deals from Brownells and some other places going on here. So it's going to be cool. And we will report to you what Rifle Dynamics and Krebs Custom is doing. Babyface, any
We're gonna have
last?
to do something now, Jim.
Yeah.
I gotta like.
Now I gotta add that to my list.
We painted you into a corner. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Man, I'll get on that.
That's why you're here right now.
Yeah, there you go. This is the meeting. This is the meeting where it goes down. Okay, so Babyface, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
Not really. I haven't got my ticket, so I got to go do that
Okay.
after the call.
Yeah. Are you sure you didn't want to tell Jim Fuller and Marc Krebs
No,
how
this was
easy
awesome.
it is to make AKs? You didn't want to.
This was like the best thing ever. Hank can tell you I was giddy just thinking about jumping on this car. I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I know he wanted to hang out with you guys a little bit.
Yeah.
And one of these days I'll bring him to SHOT Show. Then
We love you, man.
yeah, appropriate smackdowns could be put on Babyface. Yeah, forgive him. He's only like 18 or 19.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh god.
Man,
If only.
God, did you whip on the poor guy anymore?
Oh, he gets it worse than this.
Ugh.
All right. So you know what? I want to thank everyone for joining us. We had great questions. Everyone hanging out there. We appreciate everyone that bought raffle tickets. We really do. I encourage you guys to get more of those tickets, and we'll keep reminding you of it. It's really for a good cause, and we want to do as much as we can to help these folks. So thanks everyone. Thanks to everyone on the panel. Thank you so much, Jim Fuller. Awesome dude. Thank you for spending so much time with us, man. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Yeah, thanks, Jim.
Yeah.
My pleasure, guys.
Oh, you're welcome. And same to you, Mark. Thanks for hanging out with us and keeping the guys there in the shop. What is it? Triple overtime tonight?
Triple overtime. Actually, it's beer.
It's beer.
It's big.
Yeah, we afford that much. I mean, we're.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a beer.
Enjoy a few on us, guys. All right. So thanks so much. Mark, Jim, you guys stay there, but we're going to hang up right now. Thanks to everyone for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I think we have Tactical Walls in the house, so that's going to be our guest tomorrow. Peace out. We're out of here.
See you guys. Bye.